Oh, yeah. Alrighty, we are live. What is up? What is up, everybody? What's going on? What's up? We got Gangster Sus in the chat already. What's going on, Gangster Sus? Super excited for the stream. Can't wait. Well, here we go. Wait no longer, Mr. Sus. Stu lives, says Jen Warner. We already got some votes for what we think about who's gonna come back in the next Scream movie. What's going on, Jen, by the way? How's it going? I hope it's just me. It'll be just me until 10:15. 10:15, Craven Something Scary is going to join me. So yeah, Craven is joining a little late. Aiden is here as well. What's up? How's it going, Aiden? Hashtag Stu lives. Bob Hunt. What's going on, Bob? Silent Bob. What's up, Bob? Bob is also on the Stu train. Nice. Hank Hill. I will say this. I'm going to allow Mr. Craven Something Scary to come on here tonight and say, hey, he's gonna debate with me about if Stu is alive or dead. So we're gonna see how I feel by the end of the night. What's going on, Corey? How's it going? Good vibes from Winnipeg. Good vibes to you from Cleveland, Ohio. Not the best place to have positive vibes, but I will try. I will try to muster up some good vibes from here, even though the weather just keeps changing. So, Easton Plays, what's going on? I was exactly on time, Easton. Exactly. I literally saw the ticker go like 3, 2, 1, bam. I hit go start the broadcast. So, bam. EF, what's going on? Dewey should have been the killer in the last movie. That's out there, man. That's out there. What's up, the Fly? Hi, Fly. Carter Scotland Allen, what's going on, Carter? What's up, Jake? Just hit my first 100 subs. Nice. And you say Stu is dead. Uh-oh, we're going to start having a debate here in a second. Stu, whoop, whoop. Heck yeah, even your ads are cool. What's up? Thank you. I hope the ads on my videos are cool. I hope they are. Quentin, what's going on? What's up? Quentin is a fan of Stu. I see. Nice. Stu, listen, man, listen. I love you. You're a great character. I don't know if I'm on the Stu train now, though. I'm half and half. You know, I'm a little 50-50 here. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what's going on. I'm gonna let Craven talk about it tonight a little bit. So when he gets on here, Kirsten, what's going on, Kirsten? What's up? Hashtag Stu train. Nice. Tori says Stu lives. What's up? What's up? Kane, I don't know if I said hi to you or not, Kane, but hi. Hello again. Vampirus Coffin says, LOL funny, I'm watching Scream 96 and this pops up. Good timing. Shout out to KillJoy. Thanks, homie. Thank you. Thank you for the shout out. I appreciate it. So what is up, everybody? What is up? What is up? Hello. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. We're going all night. We're going for another crazy long stream for tonight. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time. We're going to be going at least until Mr. Craven Something Scary comes in here, and then see if he wants to keep it rolling. Keep it on rolling, baby, as Limp Bizkit says in their songs. So Hank Hill says a 100-pound TV got dropped on his head. It's arguable one way or another. I think because it's a it's a horror movie. It's a horror movie. So I feel like you can kind of stretch things one way or another if you want to say that he's alive or not. My thing is the actual practicality of it, like putting him in this movie, about how that would affect the entire plot line and how that might not be all that fantastic. I would be kind of worried about. I would be worried about where the direction of where the story's going if Stu's back. I don't know if it would work. All those theories about Dewey being the mastermind back in the day. I just don't see Dewey being the mastermind, man. He's so goofy, silly. He's a great character, you know. I don't see him being this evil genius this whole time. This lemon-scented evil. Jill being the mastermind would make more sense than Stu. Jill's pretty dang dead, though. Like, listen, Stu's pretty dead, but Jill is like, holy crap, dead. Like, for sure, she is dead. So. Who would win, Stu or the guy who was him in Scary Movie? Or what about Deputy Doofy? I bet he would win. He would win every single time. Billy is alive. Okay. Okay, now that's even nuttier there, I think. I will say there's like an argument about Stu coming back, like he didn't get double tapped, there's that. They always come back for one last scare. Is Stu just waiting 30 years to do that? Stu's saying kinda yes, kinda, maybe. Yeah, no, I'm super. Listen, I'm pumped for Scream 6. I don't know if it's like super necessary that we get Stu in there or not, but once again, listen, I'm gonna let Mr. Craven Something Scary convince me one way or another tonight. We're gonna go back and forth about it. I'm gonna see how we all feel about it. I don't know. I'm kind of whack. I think the subject's kind of like, I don't know. It's not something I'm necessarily looking for in Scream 6. I value much more a good story, a good plot, great new characters. That's the biggest thing. That's the big thing I'm looking for with Scream 6, I think. I really want, that's what I want the most, honestly. I just want a good movie. I just want a good movie at the end of the day. That's the biggest thing. Stu lives, deal with it. There we go. In the past, I've come up with scenarios in my mind for Billy being alive, and I've come up with like the craziest, wackiest shit. Michael Myers is thinking about this. Interesting. So Michael Myers is a big Scream fan. That's cool. That's awesome. Oh, whoa, wow, holy crap. Halloween Ends footage shown at CinemaCon tonight. Okay, everyone, we're getting a live, hang on, we're doing a live KillJoy Jake video here real quick. Just going to talk about this. Okay, first Halloween Ends footage shown at CinemaCon. News just broke. The very first look at David Gordon Green's Halloween Ends was shown off during Universal's CinemaCon presentation tonight. I had a feeling. I really had a feeling that this was going to be the case. No way. Holy crap. In the meantime, we do at least have some social media reactions from. Yeah, we haven't seen anything. There's no footage online. It'll be a bit before we get any footage online, so I'm probably gonna wait to do a video on this. There's some media reactions from those in attendance at CinemaCon tonight. We also have some new comments from star Jamie Lee Curtis. Okay, this is, oh my God. Okay, so Jamie Lee Curtis says, this is what she says about Halloween Ends. Trust me, it's gonna fuck you up. Before introducing the very first look of Halloween Ends coming October 14th. That was the predecessor to whatever this clip was. No way. Holy crap. And then Rebecca Rubin, who I'm not 100% sure who this is, probably someone who was at the CinemaCon panel, says Jamie Lee Curtis jokingly shaded the audience at CinemaCon because they didn't give her a standing ovation in Halloween Ends. Laurie Strode and Michael Myers meet up for the last time. Trust me, it's going to fuck you up. She promises the trailer is legitimately terrifying. Ooh, okay. Here's some more reactions from Scott Menzel. Once again, someone who's verified on Twitter, saying the trailer for Halloween Ends serves as a tribute to the legacy of Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. Fans of the franchise look like they are in for a real treat as this franchise comes to an end. The trailer looks awesome. Nice. And then one more, and I swear, there's like a bunch of tweets about this. Wow. Okay, we're going to talk about, is this one anything good? Okay, Mr. Steven Weintraub, Weintraub, yes, says first trailer for Halloween Ends uses footage from all the films to tie everything together and ends with Jamie Lee Curtis fighting Michael Myers for the last time. Thumbs up. Okay, so that means the new footage we have from this first trailer is her and Michael fighting. So what does that tell you? If it's just them two fighting, oh my God, I have so many theories already to talk about. Wow. So I know we're supposed to be talking about Scream tonight, but listen, we're gonna have to talk a little bit about that. Easton, I do not do my videos in one take. I spend maybe a little too long getting the shot right for a lot of my videos. I'll do things in multiple takes too. Like I'll kind of like stop and get like a sentence right, or if like I come up with a joke or something, I'll try to get that right. It takes me a minute to record. I've been trying to, there's been so much news lately. I've been trying to get everything out as quick as possible. But I never like to phone anything in. I never phone anything in. If I ever feel like I'm phoning something in, I just take the day off because I would rather just do that than put something out that's like half-assed. So bring back Danielle Harris. Why is she not in these new movies like at all? Like what? Like it's weird to me. Like her with Jamie Lee Curtis, that would be awesome. I'd be so down for that. She could just play a new character. I wouldn't even. Who cares? Like just have Danielle Harris back. That'd be awesome. Do feel like Jill could be alive, especially since she survived the electrocution. I know she was shot in the chest, but it wasn't the head. So, you could come up with something. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel it's the same argument with Stu, I feel like, though. Like, is he still alive? He just had a TV dropped on his head. So it's something that I feel like would be super... I feel like it'd be kind of controversial no matter what, if you bring back a dead character. And why, like, to me, it's like with every Scream movie, you always have these amazing characters that I love so much. I'm totally down to just recreate that in new sequels. Like, give us new characters, give us new killers. There's always going to be new actors who are up to bat for a good killer performance, is what I say. Like Mikey Madison, oh my god, she killed it in that last movie, man. I don't know, that was horrifying. What if Stu was Amber's dad? They don't really look too much alike. That's my one thing. Amber does have that like silly, goofy killer vibe to her, though. So it looks like you only cut during your intro. Easton, my new video had a lot of cuts in it today. I was messing up all over the place with my new video. I kept saying the wrong thing, and I was like, dang it. There's a lot of cuts in today's video. Sometimes I'm just like, bam, like it's in the can, and I only need to make like 1 or 2 cuts throughout the entire video. But sometimes it takes a little longer, so. If you could undo the death of a Scream character, who would you bring back? This is controversial, but I have an easy answer here, and that is Mr. Randy Meeks. Like, 100% I would bring back Randy Meeks. Could you imagine Randy in all 5 of the movies? Oh my god, yes. I think that, I don't know, I think that'd be great. Mikey made me a fan big time. She killed it, no pun intended. I agree. I think she was great. Jordan Talks Films. What's going on, Jordan? What's up? Thanks for stopping by and saying hey. We appreciate that. Ain't no way Amber is Stu's daughter. She probably got that psychotic side from watching a lot of stab movies. Yeah, Angie, I don't think that they would go that route, especially like maybe if they kept Amber alive, you could go down that path, but like why make her Stu's daughter at this point unless it was going to be some big plot point? Like that's a massive twist, Like we have the daughter of Billy Loomis as our lead character, and that was a huge twist in Scream 5. I feel like if you were going to do something like that, like make Amber or like one of the killers the daughter of a past killer, that would have to be a big part of their motivation to be killing. That would have to be a reveal coming from them, I think. So Bob waves at Jordan. Everyone wave at Jordan. Everyone wave at Jordan right now. I'm just kidding. Is there new news on Kirby? Like, yeah, kind of, not really. I'm probably not going to make a video on it, though. Hayden Panettiere just signed with a much bigger, talent agency. So it has a lot of people thinking that she's doing this to be a part of Scream 6. But, I'll make a video on Kirby coming into Scream 6 when she's a part of Scream 6. If that happens. So we might get that news. We might get that news soon. We might. I hope so. I think that'd be cool. Thank you, Tori. Hello, Michael. Is there multiple Michaels today? We had multiple ghost faces the other day. Now we have multiple Michaels. Michael, we just got a whole bunch of news about you, dude. I was just talking about it for everyone just joining the chat. There's big Halloween kills, or Halloween Ends news that I was just reading about. Apparently they did show the trailer for Halloween Ends at CinemaCon. So I'm going to tweet this out right now. I knew it! Exclamation point. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. I had a feeling they were going to show it. They literally did this last time at CinemaCon, I'm pretty sure. So I'm not shocked. What's up, Austin? How's it going? What's up? Can't wait for the black phone. Nice. I too am pumped for the black phone. That's gonna be a banger. It probably is, though. I could see it. What's up, Zoe Crawford? How's it going, man? Jordan, great question. So we probably won't get the trailer anytime soon, but they showed it off at CinemaCon, and apparently it's a lot of footage. What I was reading is that it's a lot of footage from the past movies, kind of like showing us like recap and stuff. And the end of it is a shot of Laurie and Michael just going at each other, like just fighting. So I'm very excited to see this trailer. Yeah, hopefully it's online soon. Hopefully, at some point. I'm sure it will be. I don't think we probably don't get like a full length trailer until probably June. That's what the case was with the last two movies in the David Gordon Green trilogy. So that's probably going to be the case. This might be just a teaser though, so we might get this a little earlier. I'm not sure. What's up, Aaron? Hi, welcome, welcome. We have a bunch of fun people in the chat tonight. I'm gonna pass out. Me too. I am so pumped. Slide me one of those brisks. This is like actually my favorite like canned drink of all time. It's fantastic. Gotta stop drinking so much sugar, but your boy's doing a lot. Your boy can pig out a little bit. It's okay. It's all right. You know, fuck it. I'm having fun. How far do you think Scream movies will go for? And do you think Radio Silence will cast more unknown actors in the future for more Scream movies? I wouldn't necessarily call the actors in Scream 5 unknown. They were all kind of popular from something else, pretty much. But I would be totally down for them to cast some like some more up and comers. I really like that they got like Jack Quaid, Mikey Madison, Melissa Barrera, just like literally everyone in that cast was pretty much from one other thing. You know, they're just starting their careers. They're younger people. Some more up and comers would be great though. I really, that's what I've always valued about the Scream franchise. They always get like some of the best like young actors, young actresses out there to be in their movies. It's always like some of the most poppin' people. I think consistently through all 5 films, they did that really well with the cast. So I think it's awesome. Get ready for all the spoilers for the teaser trailer. Hopefully not. Listen, so what I was just saying about the teaser trailer from what just got reported was that it's not a whole lot of new stuff, just a few little things here and there, but is kind of breaking the cardinal rule that I said in the video, and hopefully it got to Jason Blum, but probably not. Let's be honest. It probably didn't. But I said in the video, I was like, listen, what they got to do for this new trailer is don't show anything from the third act. You're just going to give something away at that point. Like literally anything, we will speculate to death, and someone will figure it out. So if you just don't show anything from the third act in your trailer, you'll be good. Like there's got to be stuff in the movie that's interesting enough to show in your trailer that's just from the first 2 acts. Like I feel like that's not too hard of a thing to accomplish. So do you think Michael will actually die? They kind of teased it in Halloween Kills. Yeah, they did. They teased there's a lot of things they teased in Halloween Kills though for that to be the case. So I think it could happen. I feel like this is one of those things where it's like we've never seen Michael die on screen, and I know you can't kill the boogeyman. We have so many people with that argument. I totally get it, but like we've seen Michael twitch his finger or something at the end of every single Halloween movie. Essentially, he's always been brought back for the most part. Halloween 2 is the exception, but like they were gonna bring him back. They were gonna bring him back in Halloween 3. It's Rob Zombie's Halloween 3. They were gonna do it. So like, does that count? I don't know. This would be cool to have that definitive ending in one timeline at least, because literally every other timeline really doesn't have an ending. So a lot of loose ends in this franchise. To do something different, I say would be pretty cool, like actually killing Michael. I don't think it should be like a happy, Lori and Allison and Lindsay just, skip off into the sunset. Everything's great. No. Come on. With everything that's happened, how dark this whole timeline has gotten, I say make it as disgusting and bittersweet as possible. But you got to kill Michael or else it's not the end of Halloween. So that's what I say. See, look at this. Michael doesn't like that ending. He's like, I'm behind you, dude. Okay, I'm good. I got a mini Michael behind me. I got a little Funko Pop Michael behind me, but yeah. Randy didn't die when he got pulled into the van. Ghostface poured blood on him and he couldn't swim. That's why he screamed. Okay. That's great theory, Easton. Good stuff. We're gonna take that theory, we're gonna put it up on the fridge for everyone to see. For everyone to see it. What's up, Carrie? How's it going? What's up? Hello. I'll be popping in and out, but again, hello. Welcome. We have a lot of streams going on tonight. A lot of great streams across the board from a bunch of different YouTubers out there. We got Night Watch Zone, probably in the middle of a stream with someone from I cannot remember her name for the life of me, but someone from Friday the 13th Part 5 is on his stream with him right now, which is really cool. Craven Son Scary is joining me tonight as well. Later tonight. So heck yeah. So stick around for that. We're gonna have just a great time talking movies tonight. It's gonna be awesome. I already broke Fate, so I will try to behave during this one. What did you do to break him? Listen, it takes a lot to break Fate. I mean, maybe it doesn't. It doesn't take too much to make him angry, to make him go on a tirade. So Melanie Kinnaman is who is on Night Stream tonight. So there you go. Look at that. Pretty good stuff. So Night Watch Zone. What's up, Blucka Blucka? How's it going? How's it going, Blucka? I'm always like waiting for a response. That's why I kind of like wait. And then I'm like, these people can't talk to me. I'm by myself. I'm all by myself. Everybody dance. Okay, I don't want to get demonetized. But yes, what's up, S? S. What's up? What's up? How many more Scream movies do you think they will make? I mean, like, listen, I'm of the opinion they can keep making these as long as horror is still around. As long as horror is still popping, as long as horror is still vibing. Yeah, there's always going to be room to comment on it, to make fun of it. So why not? Scream is kind of the franchise for that, is how I feel about it. Upgrade you to a blue wrench. I got a few people to upgrade to blue wrenches, actually. That's funny you say that. So let's hope this doesn't loop. Oh, I just clicked on my own stream. There we go. So let's see if I can do this. Fate lost it. He was giggling and had to end his stream earlier. That's pretty funny. I don't know what you did to him, but it's pretty hilarious. All right, Jordan, you have been assigned to moderator. And where's Jen? Jen also gets to be a moderator. Bam! Bam! So the reason I allowed those people to be upgraded is because they've been around for a while. They can be moderators on this page. If you want to become a moderator, just hang out. Become close to the KillJoy, as they say. I don't think anyone says that, but yeah. Nice, Corey. I can't put that comment on screen, but you know what I'm talking about. Nice. I like to be in the KillJoy Jake movie. I'm horrified to be in the KillJoy Jake movie right now. I'm horrified. There's so much we've had to do this week. Listen, don't make a movie. Just if you're gonna make a movie, don't try to make a really big, ambitious, crazy, half found footage, half regular style filming kind of movie like that. Don't do what Jake is doing. Jake bit off a little more than he can chew, but we're going to get it done. This movie's going to be badass, but it's going to be a lot of work. That's the thing. A lot of stuff going into this right now. I can't say too much about it, but like I've been doing the shot list all week, and oh my God. I mean, that was a lot more work than I thought. It was a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. So couple weeks though, we'll be filming, we'll be done with all the pre-production stuff, and we'll be ready to go. So it's going to be a busy couple of weeks, but we're there. Have I ever thought about writing, directing movies? Yes, that's probably my dream for life. It's my life dream. Hopefully we get there one day. I've been drinking Red Bull and coffee all day, so the hyperness kind of amped my humor. Nice! That's the way to go. Listen, okay, I've said this before on streams. I do have some heart problems, but I can have a monster every now and then. But it's all good. So I'm having my one per month. I allow myself one per month. I opened this like 3 days ago. It's the only one I'm drinking. So that's it. I swear. I'm taking sips here and there. That's it. Got to keep myself going though. Lots to do. Are you excited for Doctor Strange 2? Yes, I'm excited for Doctor Strange 2. By the way, Cody, I don't know if I said hi to you or not yet, but what's up? Hi. Hello. What is up? I didn't say hi to Save Robbie yet either. What's up, Save Robbie? What's up? And what's up? But yeah, I'm actually pumped for Doctor Strange 2. It's supposed to be Marvel's first horror movie, essentially, and it looks pretty sweet. I loved the first Doctor Strange. Honestly, super underrated in the MCU, I think. So I'm pumped. I think it's gonna be great. You want a trilogy? What? You haven't even seen the first one yet. Austin, what if you hate Red Right Hand? Like, what if you absolutely hate it? And you're just like, it's all right. It was all right. That's what I'm worried. I'm so worried. Like, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to blow people's minds. But like, I'm also worried that people are just going to be like, It's, it was all right. We want to, like, honestly, our whole goal is to make something where it's not something where it was like, hey, that was a cool fan film. I want this to be something, like, we want it to be something where it's like people are watching this and they're like, I can't believe this wasn't released in theaters. That's our goal. Like, honest to God, if it's not that good, I'll be disappointed. I'll be really disappointed considering all the crazy whack shit we put in the script. I'll be very disappointed if that's not the reaction to it. Yuck. There. If you're talking about bipolar, if you're talking about the monsters I'm drinking, yeah, they're pretty nasty. Don't do that. Don't drink that. But yes, let's get back into the horror topics tonight. I'm not ruining anyone else's streams. Carrie, you never ruin the streams. You always make them very fun. Carrie's always a good time. Much love to you, Carrie. I hope this is not as crazy as Fate's stream. Wow, okay. Fate's stream was nuts, I guess. Okay. Dang, Jake. Yes, Brandon. I was just talking about this. The Halloween Ends teaser showed a big brawl between Michael and Laurie in a kitchen. Okay, that I did not know. Laurie grabs a knife and stabs Michael in the hand. Ends with Laurie over a trapped Michael. Oh, so it's Laurie getting the upper hand over Michael. Okay, so there we go again. Like, if that's the case, Brandon, once again, that's, third-party source. No offense, Brandon. Not that I don't trust you. I'm sure that's probably true. Considering everything I've read about it so far. Yeah, if that's the case, if they're teasing Laurie taking down Michael, that could be that could be something nuts. We were just talking. I see everyone coming into the chat talking about that. Yeah, we were just talking about that. Literally, as the news broke, like, I got a notification on my phone about it, and we were talking about it. The Halloween Ends trailer. That's so cool. Like, that is nuts that happened, like, right now. I should have made this a Halloween stream. I should have. Breaking news. Yes, there was breaking news. Jake, I was just playing Civ 5 with Jake for a little bit. Had to take a little break from the old craziness. I never have time for video games anymore, so it was nice. Jake, jeez, dude, I can't put that on screen. That's horrible. Yeah, no spoilers. Please, no spoil. Listen, Mr. Blum, I'm begging you. For Christmas this year, all I want in my goodie bag and in my stocking. If you want to stuff my stocking, just don't stuff it with spoilers. That's what I say. Please. To the person at Universal, who is going to market this movie, please don't put any spoilers in there. Please just don't put anything in the third act in our trailer for Halloween. I like the fact that they just put, like, Laurie and Michael fighting. Now, in a way, though, we can already start to speculate about where this third act is going, because let's be honest, it's probably a scene taken from the third act. If it's just Laurie and Michael, my question is everyone else dead at that point in the movie? Listen, this is a possibility. With the Scream franchise, they're not going to kill off some characters. They're just not going to do it. With the Halloween franchise, though, I don't think anybody's safe. I really don't think anybody is safe in this last movie. So is everyone going to die? Is it just going to be Laurie left standing to fight Michael? Listen, that could be the case. I know it's crazy, but... Adam can't wait for the second trailer for the Black Phone. Or you saw the second trailer and now you can't wait for the movie. Yes, I am literally so pumped. I think it's going to be great. Ooh, your second anticipated horror movie behind Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022. Adam, I'm curious, what did you think about the new Texas Chainsaw? What is going on with me right now? I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It was honestly better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be a total train wreck. And TCM 2022 at least had some good kills. That's my short review of it. At least it had some good kills. I didn't even think it would have that. So the fact that it had that, okay, cool. Maybe some of the most brutal kills I've seen of the year in a slasher movie yet, definitely from Texas Chainsaw 2022. Like, if I was ranking all of the slashers from this year just based off of their kills, how brutal they were, TCM 2022, I think goes number one. X is a very close second, but TCM 2022 definitely had the better kills, I think. Which I know, controversial, but like TCM X for kills. So I've watched it 14 times now. Wow, nice, Adam. Dude, that's awesome. And I love it, except Melody is pretty annoying. The characters are a little obnoxious. All the characters, like, literally, there's not one character that there's not in that movie where they didn't have a scene where they were kind of annoying. So What do you think is going to happen in Scream 6? It is anyone's guess right now. We have very little information on Scream 6 tonight, as of tonight. So hopefully sometime in the future we get a little more info. I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen in Scream 6 to make it crazier than 5. It's got to be something nuts. It's got to be something completely different, completely out of the box. Throw us for a loop is what I say with this next one. That's what I want more than anything. I want to be shocked. I just want to be shocked. I was very shocked by a lot of the surprises in Scream 5. Not all of them. I will admit there was a few things presented as a surprise that I'm just like, that wasn't okay. Like what? That was nuts. But there was a few things where I was like, okay, that was pretty nuts. So hopefully that they can recreate that magic again in Scream 6 and do it even better. I think that there's a lot of room for them to do something at their own thing with this next movie for sure. And that's what they got to do. Like I watched the behind the scenes for Scream 5 and like they kept talking about how like when they didn't know what to do for a certain scene, they're just like, yeah, well, we just thought like what did Wes Craven do? We just did that, whatever it was. And to me, that kind of takes away like anybody trying to copy someone else's style just isn't going to be good as the person that they're copying. That's just, I feel like that's a base rule no matter what. So if they try to make Scream 6 just radio silences Scream, whatever that would look like, yeah, I feel like it's just ultimately going to be a better movie conceptually. So before Scream 5, they would kill off every character except Sidney, Gale, and Dewey. Not necessarily, E-Man. Not necessarily. We had a few instances where that was not the case. So, and also those three characters were always safe. You know what I mean? Like to me, it got to a point like going back and watching those movies again. I feel like if you were watching them all in order from like when they came out to up to Scream 4, it's just how would it be suspenseful if you saw like that scene in Scream 4? Like if I had seen 1, 2, and 3 when they came out, and I'd watched them all, and then Scream 4 comes out in 2011, and I'm watching Gale Weathers get attacked by Ghostface in the barn. I wouldn't feel any slight bit of suspense because they always give the thumb up. They always give the thumbs up. They're like, yeah, we're fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Like, I think it was very necessary for them to kill Dewey. I know I always keep coming back to this, but like that shocked me. That was like, that absolutely floored me in the theaters. Probably one of the biggest shocks of any movie I've seen this year. That was nuts. That was the one thing I thought radio silence wouldn't even touch, and they did, and wow. They probably killed the only character that wouldn't completely divide the fan base. So that's I don't know, that's my opinion. I know some people are like, I can't believe they killed Dewey, like why would they do that? And I don't know, I thought it was pretty ballsy, and I respect ballsy filmmaking. So do you know the 4K groovy box set for Evil Dead? Mine just came in, and my 25th anniversary Ghostface mask came in too. Nice, Adam. That's awesome. My brother has the groovy set. I have a 4K of the original, a 4K of the second one, just a Blu-ray of the remake, and I cannot. I've been wanting to get the Army of Darkness, but there's a steelbook of it out there somewhere. They're very rare, very very hard to come across. I would love to get that. That would be awesome, but maybe one day. Maybe one day. I bawled my eyes out. Yeah, I was this mixture of sadness and disbelief. And shock. I couldn't believe it was happening when it happened. It was nuts. Yeah, I feel, you know, it sucks. I wouldn't want these characters to die, but that whole third act was suspenseful to me. I was talking to my buddies who were sitting next to me, and I'm just like, are they going to fucking do it? Are they going to kill all the legacy? Like, I honestly, something that went through my mind was they're going to kill all the legacy characters. They're going to just do it. I was so scared about that ending. It was the first time in a long time where a sequel in a already established franchise really scared me. I really have a lot of respect for Scream 5, man. It was one of those movies that genuinely terrified me this year. I didn't think it was gonna be that scary, and it was unexpectedly like, wow, they did that. They went there with some of the things. I think it's paced, like the more I watch it, it's paced a little weird. But once again, it's just not an easy movie to make, I don't think. It was never going to be something that was going to be easy to make, or I never think that, I don't think in any universe there's a version of Scream 5 where it's just like an easy, oh yeah, nothing to it kind of movie. But I think they did the best with what they had. I really think they did. So I'm excited for 6. I think 6 is kind of like a clean slate for them. I'm not sure what they can do with it, but I'm excited. So when I saw Stu on the ground dead, I flipped the F out. I was mad for 2 days. About Stu? About okay. Like, listen, I love Stu, but like he's the bad guy, you know? Like, of course he's gonna go out. So yes, for everyone just joining the chat, we were talking a little bit about the Halloween Ends trailer, which trust me, I'm gonna do a whole video on this because there's so much from that from the tweets alone that we got. It'll probably be online at some point because it seems like it's going to be just a teaser trailer. How they described it didn't seem like a full-length trailer, but once again, I'll kind of just go through that for the people who are new in the chat. Yes, they did show the Halloween Ends. I keep saying Halloween Kills. They did show the Halloween Ends trailer at CinemaCon literally today, like maybe just a couple hours ago or minutes ago. I don't know. The article just came out from Bloody Disgusting, kind of recapping a bunch of the audience's reactions to it. And the audience kind of described it in their tweets, saying that it's a lot of like recycled footage from the original movie, the 2018 movie, and Kills, but then at the very end we get to see a fight scene between Laurie and Michael going at each other. So that's new. That's all new apparently. I'm very excited to see it when it comes out. Yes, Carrie. So it's not online as of right now, but it was shown at CinemaCon. So we'll probably be getting it soon. Is what my guess would be. It sounds like, once again, how I'm describing it. It sounds like a teaser trailer. Doesn't sound like a full length trailer. Usually in a full length trailer they'll show you like all new stuff, but like in the teaser they'll just show you a little bit. This sounds like a minute long clip that it just kind of recaps everything and then shows you a little taste of something new at the very end. So we probably get that teaser sometime soon, and then a full length trailer in June would be my guess. Unless this is the full length trailer and they're purposefully trying not to show us too much, which in that case I'm fine with that as well. So I'd imagine they want to keep things secretive. Yes, Mr. L. I feel like that is the case. Once again, they're probably keeping things like under wraps because, you know, the ending, this is the movie you don't want spoiled. Like Kills, sure, had a bunch of surprises. And yes, I had some things spoiled for me, which I wasn't super happy about. But I do think that with this next movie, this is the one you really don't want to get spoiled. This is the ending to this timeline, essentially. Whatever it is, it's the end. So nutty stuff. If it debuted today, it should be online tomorrow. Yeah, it probably will. But once again, if this is the full length trailer, they probably won't officially release it until June. But if this is just like a teaser, I could see them releasing it like tomorrow. So, what's up, Denisha? How's it going? What's up? You gotta tease me first. No comment. John Carpenter's Halloween was shown as a movie in Scream and Halloween 4, maybe Ghostface and Season of the Witch crossover. the Ghostface mask is being controlled by the Stonehenge pieces. Yes, that would be a nutty movie. Will they ever remake that's a video I gotta do. I gotta do a video on will they ever remake Season of the Witch. Talk about that. Because technically Blumhouse could do that right now. And I don't think I would be against it. I don't think I would be totally against a modernized version of that. It's such a good movie on its own. I love it. It shouldn't be called Halloween. It should just be a straight up like standalone B movie from the 80s. I think that it would have been way more successful that way. And it's a great movie. It's a fantastic film. I really love it. So. Yeah, this is actually a really good point. I can't imagine another horror franchise that would make for a good crossover with Scream, at least not off the top of my head. It would be really tough to do a crossover with Scream because like it kind of creates a paradox, right? Because they comment on just about every single horror franchise out there. Like if you look at like especially in Scream 4, they mention a lot of different horror franchises in that movie. It would be pretty tough. I don't think there are any popular horror franchises you could collaborate with them without it becoming paradoxical, if that's a word. Paradoxical. Paradoxed. Putting it in a box, paradox. There we go. Clip that cringy moment. I wonder if there will be some sort of 1980s remake footage for Halloween Ends, like how they opened Halloween Kills. That could be cool. So show some more stuff from the past that could lead into Halloween Ends. I'd be totally down for that. Some more stuff maybe about Hawkins. Like what else did he do after that unfortunate night where he accidentally shot his partner. You know, what else like is anything else? Did anything else happen that night that could affect the story? I guess. Yes. Wishmaster remake. I've only ever seen the first Wishmaster. I've never seen the sequels. Yeah, they could totally remake that. The one thing I would like for them to keep is to keep all the what was I trying to say? The cameos in the original Wishmaster. They'd have to do that again with nowadays like big horror icons. Like you could have like Bill Skarsgård in there, you could have David Howard Thornton in there as little cameos. That would be great. Because in that original film, there are so many like horror legends that cameo in Wishmaster. It's a really fun film. I really enjoy Wishmaster. I got to see the sequels. I've never seen those before, but I hear they're pretty dang interesting. I know nothing about them, honestly. I know that they're pretty dang interesting, and that is about it. 51 viewers. Heck yeah, let's go. Welcome everybody on this wonderful Wednesday night. A couple of the Wishmaster sequels were filmed in Winnipeg. No way. It's awesome. Corey, you are an aficionado on Winnipeg. I love it. It's good stuff. Surprise, Jake. You know, I was going to dress up like Stu tonight for the stream. Unfortunately, I had asked somebody to do my makeup. But two things with that. I was looking up some things about YouTube. They're not super keen on having fake blood on you, whether it's fake or not. Yeah, so I couldn't do that. I wanted to have like a little bit of blood all over me, like redo all the stab wounds, but I think I'll save that for a future stream. I can't say too much about what I'm talking about, but ooh, little secret things in development over here. Secret things in development. Could have a new Nightmare type of crossover, Ghostface killing Robert Englund and Jamie Lee. So like they're all in the real world, something like that. Yeah. But isn't that kind of just doing New Nightmare in the Scream franchise, you know? Like that's my problem with if they were to take that concept, the New Nightmare concept, and just put it in Scream. It's like, yes, it's meta. Yes, it works with the Scream franchise. And yes, New Nightmare totally influenced Scream because it's only it came out 2 years before Scream. But I feel like that's a little too on the nose, personally, that the whole idea of like having Nev play herself, have Courtney Cox play herself, David Arquette, Jamie Kennedy, Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich, have them all come in and play themselves. It's a little on the nose. It's like you're basically just remaking New Nightmare is how I feel about it. It might feel like, why are we getting this film? Is it necessary? Why New Nightmare, I feel like, was so necessary in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise was because you had this narrative that is all over the place with the previous Nightmare on Elm Street films. There's really nothing consistent about those movies. Barely anything. And that's my problem with it as a franchise. And New Nightmare was kind of like, hey, you know what? We're basically just throwing ideas left and right. Let's just try this out. And Wes Craven did that, and it's a banger. It's an absolute banger. It's one of the best in that entire franchise, I think. So that's my argument. Case in point right there. All these beautiful people in this chat room. We are in need of more likes. Smash that like button. Yes, smash that like button. And also, I'm going to be going until I'm going to be going until 10:30 tonight. So if you want me to go past 10:30, super chats, baby. Every single dollar adds a minute to the stream, so you can make me go until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, depending on the super chat, if you really want. So there you go. Could have it as a TV series. That could be cool. I feel like if it was a movie too, considering that all 5 of the Scream movies have a consistent storyline going through them, might be kind of weird to take that direction at this point. I feel like you got to kind of continue the story from where you are because they've done that in all 5 of the movies. But also, that is another good argument there. If you want to deviate and do something different, I could see that being a possibility to make a Scream film that deviates from the storyline to do something different. But it would have to be something that's really purposeful. Like if you're going to change up the story at this point, you're going to follow new characters, you're going to do something completely different, you're not going to continue the story from the past 5 movies. That's something that a lot of people really like about this franchise. The fact that it has one long, consistent story basically going through it. You'd have to come up with something pretty good. Like it'd have to be something like, wow, that's mind-blowing. That's a really cool idea. That's the only way I could see that happening, personally. I'm in Eastern time. So 10:30 Eastern time is in like little less than 2 hours. Like an hour and 45 minutes. So there you go. I would kill for a Blair Witch series. It needs it. I could see I could see that. I feel like it's tough to do any Blair Witch continuations that well at this point, considering like that first movie is so powerful because of the marketing. That's why it was such a big hit. Be kind of tough to recreate something like that. You'd have to come up with like something pretty cool that I feel like fans of that franchise wouldn't love too much, but I would probably dig it if it was like a found footage show or something like that. I could see it. Did you really eat a burrito in one bite? Yes, I did. I was on a stream for like 3.5 hours, and I was like, listen, I haven't eaten food in like 8 hours. I'm starving. I took a soft taco from Taco Bell, and I'm like, we're going to make this quick, everybody. I just shoved the whole thing in my mouth. It was bam, it was gone. So yes. But yes, it was a taco. Let's confirm that. I couldn't, like, a Chipotle burrito that's like this big. I don't think I could eat that in one bite. That would be, wow. That I'm not going to say what I was thinking. I would be considered the throat goat if I could do that, I think. The throat goat. Would you want to see a Halloween TV show? What's up? I like scary. How's it going? Halloween TV show that focuses on character backstories. Myers is involved also. I've seen a few shows like this. Now, I've seen a few shows that really focus on like character backstory, and it's a lot of talking. It's a lot, like, to me, it feels like a lot of talking for the point to ultimately be to have a further understanding of some characters, but that's not always necessary, I don't think. I don't know if that's always a necessary kind of thing to put a hyper focus on explaining a character's backstory, especially when it's like slasher villain characters. Like, I don't need to know more about like Marion Chambers. I really don't. Like, great character, but I don't need to dive into her backstory. I don't need to know what she was doing when she was a teenager. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal personally. I would rather just have a new story centered around Michael Myers killing people. Yeah, like, we can't forget what is so we can't forget what is so great about the Halloween franchise, what is so great about these slasher movies, what makes them fantastic. And sometimes the series will lose track of that and focus on things like that, where it's like, feels a little unnecessary. Like, yes, I watch, like, the characters in the Halloween movies are great for the most part. I know, some of the characters in 5, not all of us really love that much, but I love the characters in the Halloween franchise. But one of my favorite things about the film, especially in that series, is not necessarily the characters. It's Michael Myers killing people. The whole trying to understand that it's a scary thing. He's a scary idea for a character, someone that like almost can't die and is like doesn't really speak or nothing like that, just kills people. Like, that is so horrifying to think about. Someone that is just hell bent on killing people and has no other thoughts in his head. That's scary. It's a scary thing. So I would like them to focus more on that if they were to do a series where it seems like that's never really the focus when it comes to horror television. There's not a whole lot of good horror television. That's the thing. Not a whole lot of it's great. You get that rare series every now and then, like some seasons of AHS I think are pretty good. Ash versus the Evil Dead I love. And yes, it does do some character diving into, with Ash especially. But it never forgets that it's a horror series. It never forgets that. That's a big thing. A lot of shows will forget to do that. They'll just focus on, hey, let's have more dialogue. When it's like, we don't need that. Cops do it by the books. Yes. You're a Cody, you're a guy. I'm trying to think of a really positive word right now. I can't think of that. You're a yeah. Yes. If you get that reference, much love. I don't know what I'm saying. Carrie, can you answer my question? Name the guy in It. Are you saying like in the show? In the movie? There's a lot of guys in It, so it'd be kind of tough for me to answer that. Can I phone a friend? I got you. Name the guy in It, Carrie. In It or in It? Clarify, Stu Macher. Clarify. I need some clarification. Want to hear about some scary real life stuff? Nope. Sorry. We talk about fictional horror on here. Strictly. I'm not big into true crime, gonna be honest. Never been my thing. Not a big fan. What's your favorite straight to television slasher flick? Ooh, straight to television slasher flick. Um, are you saying like a slasher movie that like didn't do so well at the box office, and then they're just like, hey, sorry y'all, if you want to make your sequels, you're gonna have to do it on demand. I don't know why I went southern there, but probably like the Hellraiser franchise really goes off the rails after that third movie. I oddly still enjoy some of those sequels. Like they're bad. They're really bad. But wow, some of them are fun. Like Hellraiser 8, I believe. I think it's called Hell World, is basically about an internet game that is like a digitized version of the Lament configuration, and Pinhead starts killing people via the internet. It's a wild movie. It's also one of Henry Cavill's first films ever. Henry Cavill, Superman. Superman is in that movie. It's a banger. You get an okay pass since I'm from South Carolina. All right, Cody. Oh man. Okay, I'm not gonna put that on the screen. Well, that is Pennywise, Stu. Yes. There we go. We have that question answered. Now Stu Macher won't go and murder people. Good. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Also, by the way, if you're a new subscriber, if you're a longtime subscriber, whatever, I just want to say much thanks. Much thanks to everybody. We are literally on the brink of 10K right now. So thank you to everybody who has subscribed, to everyone who has just shown support over the years. I've been doing this for 2.5 years now, and it's been such a great time. So thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for everyone for the support. I appreciate it. Fate decided, Carrie, I'll never be good. Uh-oh. Fate decided is in the house. Being bad. Don't let Craven convert you. You're my future baby daddy. Listen, Fate, if you want to come in here and you want to start telling me why getting on the stew train's a bad thing, I'm not opposed, okay? We got plenty of time. We got plenty of time before Craven gets in here. So, plenty of time for you to say, "Hey, listen. Listen, this is why you shouldn't be on the stew train." If you want to argue that, go nuts. Go nuts, Fate. I'll let you. Stew. Boop, boop. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not necessarily like, yeah, they should bring back dead killers. That's kind of my thing. I think that like that might detract from a good story to focus on that. And I just don't know if that's something. I don't know if that's something that would really make for a good story overall. Like it might be like awesome fan service for about 5 minutes, but that's about it. I also feel like Stu being in prison this entire time or being like alone somewhere, he's not going to be like that guy that is like, I'll be right back. Ooh, you know what I mean? He's not going to be Stu Macher anymore. He's going to be Stu Macher. I've been in prison for 25 plus years, and I'm here to take you down, Sydney. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to be the goofy Stu. It's not going to be goofy Stu Macher. It's going to be depressed, angry, old Stu Macher who regrets his life choices and wants to seek revenge. You know what I mean? It's that's the kind of performance you're going to get. And I just feel like people are going to see that and be like, what? No one's going to be happy. That's the thing. I just feel like that's not going to really make anybody happy there. But listen, we got Craven Something Scary coming tonight to argue against this, obviously, and see what he can muster up. I'm just gonna let this one hang out on screen for a second. Not gonna say it, but there we go. So, yeah, Stu will be an old man. He's not gonna be all entered. Like, listen, I want to see if they're gonna bring Stu back. I say bring him back in flashbacks back to '96 and show him and Billy behind the scenes talking to each other and going crazy back and forth. Then you could have Matthew Lillard playing the same kind of character that he was in '96. Like, that's what I want to see personally. I want to see more of Billy and Stu going back and forth. So, what's up, Muffy? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? You know what I'm saying? Ugh. Well, I'm offended. Jake's my future baby daddy, but Zoe is my current baby daddy, says Face. Oops. I knocked myself out of the stream. But there we go. We're back. We're back. Okay. Sorry about that. So I just found out if you hit one of these buttons on my mouse here, yeah, it kicks you out of the stream. So there we go. We figured that out. We figured that out the hard way. Well, thanks for everybody for staying. Although I just completely knocked myself out of the stream. We're gonna make sure that I'm still in this live stream real quick, just in case. Okay, Corey says I'm back. Cool. Yeah, so I just figured that out the hard way. Don't click a certain button on your mic, or else you will exit the stream. That's no fun. We don't want to do that. Michael Myers finally came in my room and said, "Listen, you're trying to kill me, man? Huh? You want me to die in Halloween ends? All right, man. I'm taking you off the stream." So there we go. Yeah, I am in the live stream. Cool. Wow, we got 50 likes. Holy crap. Nice. Thanks, everyone. Thank you. Greatly appreciate that. Let's go. A prequel to Maureen Prescott's murder and Stu and Billy's friendship would be good. Tell me that wouldn't be awesome. Listen, here's my thing. Here's my argument, Stu train people out there. Here's what I say. What if instead of bringing Stu back for the movies, we have a prequel series with Matthew Lillard, with Skeet Ulrich, and it focuses on their character development back in 1996, or maybe a year prior to when they killed Maureen Prescott, the time in between that. So maybe there's not a whole lot of murder, but it's a character focused thing. I know I was just saying earlier about how some TV shows do that, and it's was this necessary? That would be necessary. That would be cool. We could maybe see Roman in there too, killing people. I would be down for that. Maybe there's more kills than what we know about. I think I'd be totally down for that, honestly. If they wanted to do something along those lines, cool. That to me is conceptually just way cooler than for them to bring back Stu now, 25 plus years later. I don't know. That's just my opinion, though. That's just my opinion. So, Stu train, but so down for a prequel, says Kirsten. Yeah, see, that's my thing. That's my thing. I'm if they do that, I think that'd be sick. So, some good stuff there. Down with some Stu flashbacks. I'm down with the sickness. I'm down with the Stu flashbacks. Ooh, wah, ah, 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 as the singer of Disturbed would say. Yeah, no, I'm totally down for some Scream. Listen, Scream 6, I want it to be something crazy and shocking and totally out there. But I don't know if I want it to be something that to the point where it's we have to do I don't want Scream to get locked into a place where it's we have to do something that calls back to the original every single time or people aren't gonna watch. That's something I'm really worried about with this franchise now moving forward is Scream 5 did that a lot. In a lot of ways I feel it was almost unnecessary. So for Scream 6 to tell its own story, to tell its own thing, do it completely its own way, I think I would just like that a little better personally. I always felt that there had to be more kills before the events of Scream not talked about. The psychopath in Billy and Stu could not have waited a year in between kills. There you go, Drew. Well, let's fill up those. Fill that gap with some cool things. I think that'd be sick. Jordan Cansdell just became a member. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate it. Welcome to the KillJoy Jake family. Welcome. If you become a member at the Ghostface tier, let's just say you want to start off at the Ghostface tier, okay? Listen, nothing too crazy there, no commitment really, just $3 a month. You get an extra video every single week where you can request a movie for me to review. I just did Cemetery Man, which Jason Dyer requested, one of my Patreon supporters. Or if you want to be a channel member, Patreon, it's the same thing. You get an extra video every single week. Or if you want to support me at some of the other higher tiers, this Friday, you will see an exclusive behind the scenes video talking about all the stuff we've been doing for Red Right Hand this month. So information that we're specifically giving a big hey, the public should not know about this to our people in who are channel members, Patreon supporters. They will be getting a big update later this later this week. I don't know why I can't talk. That's going to be for I believe Jason tier patrons, if I'm remembering correctly, or above. They will be gain access to that video because, like I said, this is some exclusive info. It's stuff I don't really want getting out. So there you go. If you could make a Scream movie with an unlimited budget, what would your story be and where would it be set? Santa Rose. Ooh, okay, there you go. If I didn't have to worry about money, I didn't have to worry about who I got to cast in it. Oh, that would be tough. See, like with Red Right Hand, we had to do a lot of things where we were like, okay, we know we're not going to have a big budget for this. So we had to kind of compromise on some of our locations. Like I wanted to do some crazier locations. I'm not going to lie. We did some scouting in Michigan for a few places I wanted to film at, but it was a bit next to impossible with our budget. But if I had an unlimited budget, I would go nuts with it, man. I would go pretty nuts. I would try to film somewhere crazy, somewhere we haven't taken a Scream before. Maybe like in the snow, maybe a tropical setting, maybe something like on an island somewhere. How scary would that be? I would love to do, like if I had just to make a slasher, I think that would be sick. So I would love to do something like on a tropical island. One of my favorite horror movies ever is Zombie from 1979. It's this movie about about zombies, and it takes place mostly on a tropical island in New York City. And it's just this gorgeous scenery with these horrible things going on. Zombies ripping apart people and eating them. It's awesome. Like I love it. I would want to set a slasher in like a tropical paradise where just everything starts to go wrong. So it's this immediate juxtaposition, a visual juxtaposition between like gorgeous scenery, gorgeous like island beach view with people just getting murdered and blood, just a lot of blood, lots of kills. That's what I would probably do with the Scream franchise, and have the twist be something just totally original, something cool, something we haven't seen in the past. No one's related to anybody from the past. It's a brand new story with some of the legacy characters. Maybe it's Sidney Prescott on vacation, and then randomly something happens that's horrible. Something along those lines. That's just a pitch off the top of my head. If I had a little more time to develop that, yeah, I would want to change up the setting. That's like maybe number one big thing I would want to do. We've been at Woodsboro 3 different times now in the Scream franchise. Let's go somewhere else. I think one of the biggest positives about Scream 3 is the Hollywood setting. I love it. I think it really adds to the story. You can do a lot more with that, I think. So that's pretty sick. Pretty sick. We have some more people in the chat. What is going on? Scream again. What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh man, I can't even put that on screen. Sydney gets gutted like a pig in Scream 6. What? Oh man. That's some controversial stuff right there. El Chupacabra says, we find out in Scream 6 that every ghost face is somehow alive. I've created a machine that brings back all of the ghost face killers. How crazy would that be? I don't want them to get supernatural with Scream though. That's something I wouldn't do. I would keep it like rooted in reality because I think that's something that's a lot of fun. But I would never take it to a supernatural place. I would take it to some weird ass like Tim Burton places and some dream sequences, but like maybe not like actually becoming supernatural though. That might be a step too far. VHS 85 coming soon. I would die for that movie. They better make a VHS 5. That's all I got to say. They better make a VHS 5 better happen. That's not that hard of a franchise to continue, I don't think. And with that last one being like maybe the best in the entire franchise, yeah, they got to make another VHS movie. There are a lot of great up and coming horror directors that could use a spotlight, by the way. So that would be a really great franchise for them to continue with. Love VHS 94. Definitely my favorite horror film of the past year. So what do I think about Jill possibly returning? I don't know. I just don't know. Like she's pretty dang dead, you know? She's pretty dead. I like Me the Jiller Killer, but she's pretty dead. That's how I feel about it. There are so many great actors and actresses I would love to see in the Scream franchise. Samara Weaving, a very obvious choice, especially because she's worked with Radio Silence in the past, that I would love to see play the killer in this new film. That's my thing about it. I want to see a brand new duo of characters coming into this film, have a brand new motive, something that's completely unrelated to the past. Surprise us with something new and fresh. That's what I want. That's honestly was a big thing about this new movie that I liked. The killers didn't have the same exact motive as everyone else in the past. Cool. It might not have been something that was like the most feasible thing. Maybe it's not exactly a great reason to start killing people. I see that argument a lot, but I liked it. I think I appreciated it for being different. I was like, okay, hey, at least they have that. At least it's not just people ganging up on Sidney Prescott to ultimately kill her in the third act again. So I was like, okay, cool. Man, I'm seeing some hate for some of these new characters in the chat here. Dang. I still know what you did last summer. 2 was on a tropical island. What did you think of that? Love the setting. Love the returning characters. But maybe the only movie where I don't like Jack Black. Like, literally the only movie I have ever seen where I'm like, wow, Jack Black is annoying. That is the only time I have ever said that in my entire life, because I love Jack Black. I mean, actually one of my favorite comedians, super underutilized, I think. Could have had a much bigger career, but for some reason didn't. I don't know. I love him, but not in that movie. I think he's just a bit obnoxious. But that movie's fun. The next movie, though, you can skip it. You can skip it. Hopefully we'll get another good I Know What You Did Last Summer incarnation, or fleshed out version at some point. Hopefully. Dr. Andy, what's up? Mason says, what if Tara gets chased in his studio like Gale did in Scream 2? That could be cool. I really want to see a new setting, though. Like, especially, like, we have this New York setting teased to us right now because they're filming in, where are they filming? Montreal. So that's where they film a lot of stuff for New York City, because it's a lot cheaper to film in Canada than it is in New York City. Probably one of the most expensive places to film an actual movie is New York City. So they're probably not going to film anything there, especially if this is taking place in New York. I just hope they give us something good. That's all I want. I want something cool, new location, brand new story, killers with a new motive. That's all I want. I'm not asking for much. I'm really not asking for much. Hi, Jake. Stay off the stew train, says, I am so bored. Listen, I'm letting Craven Something Scary is going to debate me on this tonight. So stick around till 10:15. I'm giving him 15 minutes to debate me. And then if the super chats start rolling in, well, I'll let him go for a little longer. So if we want to see the stew train roll on in here and keep it going, keep the conversation going, we'll see. Hell yeah. Ghostface takes Manhattan, ? I mean, listen, you could have done Friday the 13th part 8 a lot better. It was Jason on a boat for the majority of the time. And then just at the end, he's randomly walking through fucking Times Square. I'm pretty sure they filmed the majority of that movie in Vancouver, which is also just like, what? Kind of whack. I'm totally fine, like, with this new movie taking place in, hang on. Let me finish this thought. Totally fine with this movie taking place in New York, as long as it doesn't focus on that setting too much. I could see a lot of really cool things about a slasher being set in New York City, though. Think American Psycho. That's a great, fantastic movie. Imagine, like, Ghostface running through an office building with, like, in the background, like, foggy New York skyline in the background. You just see someone getting murdered to that. I see so much potential with a Scream 6 set in there. I just think that would be sick. $20 super chat, and I'll go on Jake's stream. There we go. Fake Decided has put it out there, has put that feeler out there. Let's see if we can get him on the stream. Especially for the people who want to crap on the stew train. if you want that. No, I'm totally kidding. But yes, let's get Fate Decided in here. Let's get it going. What movie? Oh, love School of Rock. Yes, I love School of Rock's fantastic. Love that movie. Jack Black is so underrated. Jack Black is ridiculously underrated. I wish he was in more things. I just wish he was. I wish he was in more things. Jordan says, Jeffrey Dean Morgan for Freddy Krueger. Ooh, interesting choice. He was great as Negan, and, like, he definitely has those, like think about the character of Negan. He's very silly, but very evil. So perfect choice for Freddy Krueger. He kind of fits the age, too, I'd say. I'd be down for that. I'd be sick. That'd be sweet. Jeffrey Dean Morgan would be a good choice. I still think Glenn Howerton's my number one choice, or Richard Brake. Richard Brake would kill it as Freddy Krueger. I don't know. I think that would be sweet. I know everyone's like, listen, Robert Englund's got to do it or I'm not going to watch it. But, like, there are a lot of good actors, I think, that could portray the character. As long as he has a good script. As long as he doesn't have a script where, like, the entire third act is not ripping off every past Nightmare on Elm Street movie, like that 2010 film. There's a reason that franchise has been dead in the water for a couple of years now, so. Get Fate in here. Let's do it. If it's a few super chats add up to $20, Fate will come on. I'll come on in here. So Get it going. Get it up, as we say. Have you heard of the rock band called Dorothy? If you haven't listened to Black Sheep and A Beautiful Life, I have not heard of Dorothy before, but sounds good. I bet it's interesting. But bet it's some good stuff. Yes, Fate and Craven need to have the final battle about Stu. Get it going. Get the battle going. Yes. I'm just so chaotic. I love it. Some good stuff. But yeah, so keep it on track with Scream 6. Who else do we want to see in Scream 6? What other characters do we want to see in this next movie? Played by whom? Whom do we want to see put into the next Scream film? Who's some more like young actors that they could put in this film that would like play as good like friend characters? Because like I think like Sydney Sweeney I think would do a good job. She's from Euphoria. I don't really watch that show, but I know of Sydney Sweeney. I've heard that across the tube, people talking about her. I think I could see her killing it. She could be like Tara's friend or something like that. And maybe she's kind of a red herring because she's kind of sus. So I could see it. Drew Clayton has made it happen. In the words of Sydney, consider it done. Well, in that case, I'm going to send... Well, actually, I can do that from right here. Alrighty, it's happening. We're getting fate decided on the chat. Thank you so much, Drew. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Jordan, thank you as well. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. We're also going for another 21 minutes now. So there we go. 21 minutes past. So we're going at least till almost 11. I'm sending the email right now to Mr. Fate Decided, and we're getting him in the stream. If I can figure out how to send an email real quick. But leave me something in the chat about what do you guys think about that? Who do you want to be in Scream 6? Give me some suggestions. I want to hear it. Sydney Sweeney is one that just comes to mind off the top of my head. So that's what I'm thinking. It's really hard for me to multitask. I'm so sorry. It's so hard for me to like type something and then do that. So, but there we go. Zendaya. Okay, Zendaya would be sick. I'd be actually totally down for Zendaya to be in this. I don't know if she would, but that would be sweet. I would be so down for that. She's badass in everything, man. Especially like I love her in the Spider-Man movies. She's awesome in that. Brittany Snow is a really good suggestion. I'm curious who she would play though. Curious who Brittany Snow would play. How old is Brittany Snow actually? Hang on. now I'm curious. Cause like, is she young enough to play somebody's friend, or is she older to be like play somebody's mom? I don't know. I'd have to look this up. Brittany Snow, because she was fantastic in X. If you have not watched X yet, wow, could not recommend that more. Definitely my favorite horror film of the year so far. That could change. Though. Nope is definitely going to be a contender for favorite, I think. If I had to predict right now, I know Disappointments Boulevard also comes out this year. New film from Ari Aster, so I might be a little biased because I love him, but I have no service for some reason. There we go. That's weird. Okay, Brittany Snow is 36. I thought she was like early 30s. That's what I thought. That would have been my guess. So I could see her playing like somebody like, let's say we go to Gale Weathers news station, something along those lines. She could play a character there. Jane Levy. I would love to see Jane Levy too. That's a great suggestion. Anthony Starr. I don't know those other two people. I know Homelander though. Homelander would be great. Get some more boys cast in there for sure. Anthony Starr's fantastic, man. Like everything I have seen him in, just 10 out of 10 performances. He's on this show that I really like called Auntie Donna's Big Ol' House of Fun on Netflix. If you guys have ever watched that, it's very silly. It's very goofy. It's a good time. And he's just so silly in that. He's such a serious and dark character in The Boys. For him to play something completely different from that, which I won't say if you haven't seen it, but wow, very silly stuff. Alex Wolff, another good suggestion from Hereditary. I could see that. Mia Goth, also from X. Could totally see that happening too. Some great suggestions here, I think, for sure. Being English, I'd love to see a British actor in Scream. I wonder, like, if they have a New York setting, they could probably do that. You could get away with like an international cast, I think. So, Ruth from Ozark, good suggestion. Ooh, did not think about that. I haven't watched that much of Ozark, but I have to because wow, that first season blew me away. That is as far as I am into Ozark, unfortunately, but loved it. I love that show. Yeah, Eva Longoria. I've heard a few people suggest this about Christina Carpenter. I'm down. I'm down. I think if they bring her into the movie, you have to have a point. Because if you're bringing like parent characters in there, got to be for a reason. Like, got to be for, if you're just throwing them in there to throw them in there and they're just going to be characters because they were talked about in the previous movie. I don't know. I don't see the point in doing that personally. But hopefully they throw her in there because she's part of the plot. And hopefully it's because she's not the killer. Because, oh my God, if it's somebody's mom in this next movie, I'm leaving the theater. Like, listen, I'm not a fan of it in Scream 2. I'm not going to be a fan of it in Scream 6. Sorry, but I know controversial opinion. Everyone likes Mrs. Loomis but me, but man, I will actually get up and leave if it's Richie's mom or if it's Sam's mom. I will not here for that. Selena Gomez could be good, as Courtney Cox mentioned her before. Yeah, okay, Aaron, we got some stuff to talk about real quick. Courtney Cox, way before Scream 5 even came out, had this comment on one of her posts saying, "Can't wait to meet ya," talking to Selena Gomez. What was that all about? Huh? I need some answers, Scream people. Selena Gomez. I need some answers, Miss Gomez. What is going on? Nancy Ann Ritter needs to return with the same role as a person. She is so funny and lovely. I totally agree, Jordan. It was maybe one of the best live streams I've ever been on with Nancy Ann Ritter. Truly just a amazing human being, besides the fact, she was in Scream. That's awesome. No way. Going into that live stream, I was super hyped. I'm like, no way am I going to meet somebody who was actually like there on the set of one of my favorite horror movies. No way. This is so cool. But then it was really just one of those experiences. Sometimes you meet someone and it's like, wow, that just changed my entire life. Talking to her, especially we had a really good conversation behind the scenes after the live stream ended, and I was exhausted. It was like 2:30 in the morning after I got to talk to her, pretty much all night. But we just had this great conversation about how you got to stick with your career. You got to stick with what you love. You got to just make it happen. And wow, just amazing. So insightful. She's really just an incredibly intelligent human being too. Great just talking with her, and hilarious. If you guys saw that iconic live stream, she was so much fun to talk to. So funny, so intelligent, so insightful. I only have positive things to say about her. So I really hope she's in Scream 6 somehow. I hope that happens. Nar is amazing. Oh, we got fate decided here. Uh-oh. All right, here we go. Welcome to the stream, Mr. Decider of Fate. What is going on, dog?
The people's choice is here.
The people's choice is here.
I'm still undefeated. I'm still 5 for 5 in that offer. So it's going good.
Every time you put that out there, someone has given the super chat.
I'm 5 for 5. This is good. I mean, at least I'm on it. It makes me feel good. It'd be bad if I was 0 for 5.
If no one put out the super chat whenever you suggested that.
Somebody gives you a super chat and says, "No, I don't want that."
I'll give you $40 so that he doesn't show up.
Right. Please, God, don't bring that guy on.
So, the main topic of tonight, Fate, is the Stu train. Yes. So I think I already know how you feel about that, but do you want to argue me on that a little bit? Do you have any concerns about that happening? Because we have Craven here as well listening. So
I know. Yeah, I bet he is. He heard I was coming on. His ears were perking. He was like, "Oh man, here we go." I don't know. If ask me some questions or common things, and I'll give my opinion and base facts where I can base facts.
So obviously you don't like Stu coming back. What's the biggest negative for Stu coming back? What is that for you?
I just think it's been so long. There's a lot to that. You ready? Strap in. Okay. So
yeah.
First off, I mean, I think people don't realize, and a lot of times, and we see it with characters and life and history and everything. People are great for a moment in which they are in.
That's so funny. Sorry.
Yeah, people are great in a moment and just appreciated for the moment in which they are in, and then they die, and people want more. Right? That's always the case. But we've seen it in the past through films, things like that, where when people get more, it's extremely underwhelming and extremely disappointing because it's never the same. Like, a lot of the excitement and passion for Stu returning is because the likelihood of has always been like the what if, like, oh, what if you're chasing that like, oh, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? But when it comes, it's never fully digest. And no matter how they do it, you're gonna have a group of those people that are diehard for Stu returning that are gonna absolutely hate it. And now it's like you just did something for fan service, and fan service almost never works out the way it's supposed to. Usually when fan service works, and we talked about this on the collective, it works because people don't expect it, right? Every time fan service has worked, it's when people don't expect it, because you can't be against the story, because everyone right now that is on board with the Stu train. They all have their personal thoughts of how it should be done, right? They all have their personal thoughts of how they want to see Stu brought back. Almost none of the way people anticipate him to return will likely be the case. So now you have a lot of disappointed people. The other thing is too, it's like you have 4 movies after that, but you had 5 movies total in which there hasn't even been a foundation truly laid to explain his survival, him returning, all of those things. And then even on top of that, and then
Fate, I love you, man. But
hey, if she gives you $40, I get
listen,
it. I'm gone.
if she gives me $40, I'm kicking you, man. I'm sorry.
I get it. I get it.
No, I'm sorry.
Hey,
keep going.
Make your money, man. Whatever I can do to help. I mean, yeah. Got lost my train of thought there.
I know that's too funny.
But yeah, so like my biggest thing is that like, how would it be a mystery? How would you properly explain it? Because you got to think, you have Gale Weathers, which basically the entire Stab franchise and everything revolves around her books that she detailed so exactly that Stab has exact scenes that shouldn't exist in the actual films, right?
Yeah.
And so Gale would have done the research. Gale would have known that he's alive. That would have been public knowledge. Like the whole Scream 5 Easter egg thing, that wouldn't have been a question on a conspiracy theory channel. That would have been a concrete, like, oh, let's talk about Stu's survival, whatever the case may be. It wouldn't have been is Stu alive, because that would have been public knowledge. You're not going to be able to hide that information with Gale Weathers, and on top of that, having a camera in the house, in the location, everything unfolded with nobody knowing about it. Nobody knew about the camera. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there would be information, there would be things to show, like, okay, this is the case. He's alive.
Okay. Now with that, what if we have a whole movie about Gale Weathers finding that camera? Maybe in her house somewhere, she uncovers that, she finds a lost footage of Stu getting up and leaving the crime scene or something like that. Now, my problem with that would be like, well, still, why didn't they talk about this? Why was that never mentioned in the past? That's the biggest thing. That's because you could do a storyline like that if you retconned all the sequels, but that's just not happening. And Radio Silence definitely is not going to do that.
But even then, it's like, you're telling me Gale Weathers never looked at that footage 1,000 times to write her book, to tell her story. That's how she got all those details. We got the exact Randy scene in Stab. Why? Because she watched the tape and showed it. Like that, she's probably not the only one to see that. There's probably tons of people that have seen it. Like, yes, is it possible that he survived? Absolutely. I mean, people have survived some incredible things, but people, like, a lot of the arguments just don't make sense. Like a lot of the
it's less that I'm okay with like Stu coming back from a TV dropping on his head. I'm actually like, that doesn't bug me. What bugs me is Stu coming back after 25 plus years of not being mentioned. Why was it like if he was rotting in prison this entire time? I would have liked to known about that. You know, I would have liked to have known about that. And the fact that we haven't heard nothing about him, kind of whack, is my thing.
Yeah.
I also just feel like bringing back characters inherently is just going to be for the idea of fan service. It's not going to be for like to actually tell a new innovative story to keep this franchise alive. It's going, that's, if you start doing that with your franchise, it kind of shows that it's like, we don't really have any more original ideas, you know? I'm hoping that is not the case. I really hope that's not how it comes off in this new movie, if that's the case.
So like I said that I wouldn't be surprised at all. Like if, let's say Nev says, no, I'm not coming back, and she doesn't want to come back for a Scream 7, I wouldn't be shocked if Scream 6 doesn't have success. They decide to end up going the Stu route out of almost desperation, like, which scares me. Because
I hope not.
I hope not, but it wouldn't shock me. It really wouldn't. I mean, even faking his death, how would you do that? Like, even the circumstances in which people bring that up, we're not talking now where you have technology, you have advanced, you have things like that. Like, I've heard the whole talk, like, oh, well, his parents were position of power and da-da-da-da. Like, we don't know that, though. Like,
would no one mention him if he
exactly? Like, you're telling me he was able to hide for 25 years? Nobody saw him in public. Like, I mean, I've even heard Craven say, like, maybe they would have went and did, you know, reconstructive surgery back in 1996. Like, like all of the he faked his death theories are just completely illogical and just make no sense. Like, the fact is, in reality, it's not even the TV. Yet, could he have survived the TV? Absolutely. But he was stabbed on several occasions. He himself said, I'm dying here. Like, you had Gail and Sydney strapped with a gun waiting for him to even twitch, right? Because we saw that with Billy. So he would have had to lay there, play dead. Who knows how long it took for paramedics to arrive. Like, the guy likely bled out to death and died if he survived the TV.
He was laying there for a while too. That's something we don't talk about. Like how long? Like how long is it in between his kill and like the end of the movie? You know what I mean? Like how many, like what happened in between that? I guess I have less of an issue with like the practically how could you survive all that? But also like another question I think I have about is like, would you get electrocuted if a TV broke on your face? Like that's another question I have about that. Like, probably, is that even like
probably back then, not today, not by today's standards, because today they have like it's all ran on computer chips and
right,
like they have sensors and stuff and all kinds of things. So like today, no, you know, but back in '96, like those big TVs, like that was pure electricity. So possibly, you know, I don't know for sure, but you know, it wouldn't surprise me.
But I guess the point I'm trying to make though is like that was, you know, like the way he dies even is silly. So it's like I don't like, again, I don't have a problem with him coming back. It's just like I feel like it would hurt the story more than anything. That's I love Matthew Lillard. Oh my god, he's amazing. Like holy shit. Yeah. Everything he's in, he steals the show. He makes it so much better. And we have not seen a lot of him recently. I would like to see some more Matthew Lillard in movies. But
look, I love Stu. I love him as a character. I love for what he was. And look, I understand at the end of the day, it's still a movie. You still have movie logic. You still have to, as based in realism as Scream has always maintained. But like, it's just like at this point, like, when are we going to move on? Because the problem is it's a losing battle. Because people, if it's not 7, it's not 8. It's not 9. It's like by the time we get to Scream 7, it's almost 30 years. It's like at some point we got to move on and just say, okay, clearly it's not going to happen.
Because it's fun to theorize. I mean, it's fun to theorize,
but with it. But it's one thing to theorize and hope and want. It's another thing to try to push a narrative that it should or it will happen. Because again, the problem is that like there's nothing based, there's no factual basis to it. It's all personal wants, fandom, things like that. It is just theories and ideas. There is more evidence throughout the franchise that Stu Macher is dead. I mean, the commentary of '96, Wes Craven says he's dead. He says something along the lines of like, you know, he's a character that always says I'll be back, but this time he's not going to be back. And then, you know, even in the official kill count, all the Scream movies, I don't know if Scream 5 has it. I have the thing. I haven't actually checked. but all the Scream movies, they have an official kill count that confirms who died in the film and who did it. Stu Macher's on that official kill count. The only person that has ever died and not been on that official kill count is Angelina. Angelina is the only character that has not been on the official kill count. So we have the evidence in that. And, and then the other thing is people always argue, well, what about Scream? What about Scream 3? Yeah, that was something that almost happened that didn't happen. So what's canon? So is every theory and idea that has been thrown out there, all the almost was going to happen?
Yeah,
that's everyone's argument. Well, they were going to do it in Scream 3. Yeah, but guess what?
They were going to do a lot of they were going to kill Sydney in Scream 3.
Exactly.
They were going to do a lot.
They were going to bring Randy back, all those things. Yeah. And then Wes Craven eventually came to the realization of, I don't want to break my one rule. There's an entire documentary about Scream 3 where Wes Craven talks about that. He talks about the Stu idea and he talks about the Randy idea. And in that interview, he says, and this was after the whole I was going to bring Stu back and Randy back. This interview took place after. He talks about it and he says, I didn't want to break my one rule, which was bringing back dead characters. So it was a thought. It was something that he maybe wanted to do. But like people do, they change their mind and they go a different direction. And it didn't happen. We can't hold on to something that almost happened and it didn't. And that was the best time more than ever because on top of that, I'm sure there's all kinds of stuff in the chat.
Oh, yeah, there's some I'm just reading the funniest shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that at the moment while I go on my rant. But that's your job. But on top of that, Scream 3 would have been the best time because they already contracted Matthew Lillard. So let's say these people are right and Wes Craven really, really did want to bring Stu Macher back and Kevin Williamson really, really wanted to bring Stu Macher back. Why didn't they bring him back when he was already paid and contracted to come back?
A great point, man. Bearded Entertainment, thank you for the super chat, man. Greatly appreciate it. We're up to 26 extra minutes, so we're basically going till 11 o'clock now. Fade, if you want to have a real factual debate on Stu, I would love to have that discussion. Keyword, there being facts.
What is one thing I've said that isn't a fact? Tell me one thing, Beard. Tell me one thing.
You have actually, you've been spitting facts, Fade.
Exactly.
I will say that.
Tell me one thing, Beard. I want in the chat right now. I will come on your channel and I will have the debate with you. If you can tell me right now one thing that I said that was just pure speculation and not a fact. I have backed up every point that I've made just now with actual documentaries, actual kill counts outside of people just having the fandom. It's pure fandom. Nothing I have said has been on pure basis. And this is the problem that I have with this conversation. With the things, I mean, me and Craven have gone back and forth a million times, and that's what I've said. Even to him, we, especially us as content creators, we have a duty to try to, yes, we can give our opinion, we can give our desires, we can give our wants, but we still can't push and shun facts because when we start doing that, you start running the risk of what's next, and you start conforming to fandom, and I don't want us to do that, let alone an entire film to just conform to pure fandom because that is usually a disaster for stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Now, I do want to see a big thing for me is I want to see new killers with a new motive because that's fresh and there's still a lot of stories to be told. I think in this universe, there's a lot of new stories. We don't have to tell things that have to relate to the past. That's a big thing with Scream that it's almost like they're fetishizing that. Is it has to be something that relates to the past. It has to be something that connects to why does it have to be something that connects? Why is that always a thing? I say let's just move forward. Let's have new killers with a brand new motive that has literally nothing to do with any past killers. Why not? Why does every killer have to be connected to somebody else from the past? I want to see something new. I want to see something fresh. I don't want to see a story where it's just hey, we are completely out of ideas. Here's a movie with someone from the past that we just brought back to life. That's my thing that really worries me about Scream 6 that I don't want them to do. I want it to be something completely fresh, something we've never seen before, brand new story, brand new motive too. Give us a motive we've never really seen before. You can argue that the Scream 5 motive is really close to the Scream 4 one. So I want to see something totally fresh. Why are people killing people? Why? Give me something good. Give me something new.
Let's do it. I'm with you. I do think Scream 6 has the opportunity to go that direction. I really do. I think that they set it up. Yes, they Scream 5 was heavily dragged into the past. And it's a big issue I had with the film. I mean, I love the film. I still put it up there as one of the better films in the franchise. But
What's up, Moser?
I do wish that I wish they wouldn't have went heavily in, because I mean, Scream 5 was just Scream 96 and Scream 4 meshed together, essentially. That's basically what that was. It was basically those two films combined. Motives were similar, stories were similar, everything. I mean, they had direct carbon copy scenes that, yeah, they changed expectations slightly, but they were still the same scenes pretty much. And so I would like them to get back to just some creativity, some freshness, some some new elements.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I don't know what their plan is. Obviously, hopefully they feel the same way too. You made fan film. You made the Scream, every Scream film. Because every Scream film has been the same film. It's my favorite horror franchise based on many factors, but they've all been the same movie. So it's like let's get away from that.
I think in a structure standpoint, yes, they have been very similar, all five of them. Honestly, that's the big thing I want them to break, because it's like we know where the story's going next almost always in all five of those films. Yeah. That's what I want to be like. I was really shocked by the minor deviations they made in 5, and just doing those little tiny things that really took me for a loop sometimes. Like especially the reveal of Sam Carpenter being Billy Loomis's daughter. It's like, what? Oh my God. That the first time I saw that, I was like, my jaw was on the ground. I couldn't believe they went that way. That was cool. I didn't let, the Billy Loomis Force Ghost things, whatever. But I really, really, really want to see some more like just jaw-dropping weird stuff. What's up?
I saw Bearded's comment. He was like, I think my comment was misinterpreted, because I was like, there wasn't one thing I said that wasn't a fact. Okay, that makes more sense, Bearded. I was like, what? I was like, I didn't say one thing that wasn't factual. Okay, that makes more sense, Bearded.
We're gonna factually prove both sides.
I don't know how you would do that. Like, I mean, outside of like, yeah, you could you prove that he survived? Of course, there are people that have survived worse, but it's more than just that. Like, because I can also prove that he died based on other accounts, but based on other things. So it's like what can you? I don't think, as far as I know, and I'm wrong all the time. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty knowledgeable about the Scream franchise. It's what I've based my entire channel on for the most part. I don't believe that there's anything in the films that you could use as factual proof Stu Macher is alive. Like, even like I've had people even mention the whole like present tense, right? Where people will talk about Stu, like when the Dewey was talking about Stu in present tense, right? He was saying, they were like, oh, who's Stu Macher? He's like, oh, he's a weirdo or whatever, something along those lines, off the top of my head. But that's not proof that he's alive. If I say Billy is a psycho, that doesn't mean Billy Loomis is alive. People talk present tense constantly when you're referencing people. People like, you bring up Charles Manson. Charles Manson is a cult leader. Like, that is a fact. He is a cult leader, but he's dead now. Like, it doesn't mean he's still alive.
Hey, you don't know that.
According to his obituary.
According to his, no, I'm just messing. But I don't know. I would love to see another movie with Stu. Like, that would be cool if they retconned all the sequels and you didn't have all that. Because like, there's even stuff in Scream 5, like little tiny details that kind of go against stuff from the past that people already have a problem with. So it's like, you really want to do something like this that's really going to just going to completely change up everything and could really ruin something from the past that was already set up. And that's a thing I really value about the Scream movies, is how rooted in reality they are compared to other slashers. It's a much more realistic franchise than compared to like Halloween, Friday the 13th. It makes more sense in a story aspect. I wouldn't want them to sacrifice that just to bring back a lovable character. Yeah. I wouldn't even say that about Randy. Like, Randy's probably my favorite character of these and all these movies. And like, I wouldn't say that to bring him back. I'd love to bring him back. That'd be cool. But like, I wouldn't want them to sacrifice a good story. That to me is number one. That's priority number one, I think, when it comes to these films. So I really just want a good story. That's what I want.
I think I heard you mention it. I think it was like right when I joined the chat earlier. You were talking about Stu not being the same character. And I think that's something that people really, I don't think a lot of people really understand. Like Stu Macher, if he returns, no, there's no way he's going to be the same character. If they did do that, then that is terrible, right?
And majority of people would take issue with that too. If he was just still like, "Oh, I'll be right back. I'm gonna kill you, Sid." You know what I mean? Like, why would he still be acting like that?
Whether he was locked away in a prison or a psych ward or whatever,
or if he faked his death, whatever.
He's isolated, which means that plays a toll on your mind, that plays a toll on a lot of things. Like even if he was in a prison with a bunch of people, he's going to be hardened. He's not going to be the same Stu Macher. Like, yeah, maybe he has a little quips here and there, but still, I mean, not just that, but who knows what condition he would be in physically after that. Like he could be wheelchair bound, brain dead. Like, I mean, there's a million things that they could go about it. And like, I think people want to see a Stu Macher on camera, but it's like, I don't think you're ready for the Stu Macher you probably get. Because if Stu Macher just came back and maybe he had a little cut up on his face, a couple of.
But I don't think I want. Like I wanted to see Bearded Entertainment makes a good point here. Like Dewey was incredibly different from start to finish. We still loved him, yes, but it was a really cool and very well written arc from start to finish. Yeah. He starts off as this very goofy deputy kind of character, and then he evolves into this hero, stern. He's got the beard and all that. He goes through a hero's arc, and it's great and it's very well written. But to jump from the beginning of Stu Macher, where he's silly, he's crazy, he's kind of peer pressured into killing people for Billy, then you just jump 25 plus years of him basically being locked in a room for his entire life, and then he just kind of comes out to start murdering Sydney again. I don't think that's. I don't know if that's good writing or not. I don't think so.
I personally don't think it is. I don't, because it's just, here's the thing, like with the OG3, the beauty and the reason we love the OG3 so much, which give credit to 96, regardless, however you feel about the Stu Train, you have to give credit to that. They develop characters that are so beloved. 25 years later, people are arguing over.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's something to be said. I mean, even no matter how you feel about the Stu Train and all that, it's like, dude, the fact that so many people want these characters to come back to life just shows how well written they are. Nothing's gonna beat that original cast. I love the cast of 5. I somewhat like the cast of 2, and then 4 also has a pretty decent cast. I think I don't know. I love all that this series consistently has great new characters. In every single film, there's at least one character where I'm like, that was a standout performance. Nice. Yeah.
But
I don't know.
But the beauty of the, I was gonna say, is the beauty of the OG3 is that you had something that almost never happens in any film, let alone a horror movie or a horror franchise for that matter, is you had 3 characters that survived 5 films, and you got to see their arc in development and character growth.
It's
but
the
I mean,
OG.
this will be the first film without all 3. But I mean, you had 5 films or 4.5 films. You had 4.5 films where we got to see growth. I mean, I've said it countless times. I think Gil Weathers has had the largest growth in character over these films. I mean, think about where she was in 96 and even briefly in Scream 2. And to see her go from that to where she'll literally cut somebody's throat to get a scoop, to giving it all up to be with Dewey Riley, living in Woodsboro in a small town when she's never that person. That is tremendous growth that we've seen over all of these years. And I just think that is something that could also be in play, that people, they look at look at what they've done with these 3, and it's it's not the same thing. It's not, you're not going to have the same result because we've had, 25 years of watching them grow as opposed to 25 years. Oh yeah, here's a new character. It's one of those things that I don't think it's the best option at this point, especially radio silence. What incentive does radio silence have to do that outside of just fan service?
Matthew Lillard is in that last film. That's the thing that a lot of us are forgetting. He was in the last movie. He's the chrome face, ghost face. That's awesome. So if they want to keep doing that, they want to keep having cameos like that of these characters coming back. Totally down totally down for that. But something I want to harp on, kind of want to echo this from what Carrie said. She says, I'm loving the passion either sides anyone is on. I am loving the passion of two sides of this, discussing it in a professional fashion. Yeah. No matter how you feel, one way or the other, like, respect, no matter what. Like, listen, this is the place to pitch your ideas one way or the other, no matter what you think. That's totally fine. We're gonna argue it, of course. You know, we're gonna have the counterpoint to it. But if you have some kind of idea, there's something you want to put out there, say it in the chat, make a video about it, do whatever you want. I don't want to discourage creativity. I don't want to discourage people coming up with theories. It's always fun. It's always fun to talk about things like this. But like, we are gonna, we're also gonna come back at it. You know what I mean?
It gets, we're passionate, but that's the beauty of it all. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I want to make this clear because people on my channel, they know, but I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this that aren't a part of my channel. But it's one of those things like, look, I love Stu Macher. He's one of my favorite characters in the entire franchise, but I appreciate him for what he was at the time that he was. But beyond that, I have even said, like, if they wrote a convincing story, which I don't think he's not coming back in Scream 6. There's no way you can bring him back in Scream 6. But I've even said, if they lay the foundation in Scream 6 and they put the little breadcrumbs in, and you tell a story that ties into a potential Stu Macher coming, and he comes in Scream 7, great. I've even said, if they can find a way and they really want to write a great story that makes sense, that fits in and ties into the past films and bring Stu back, okay, fine. I'll sit here with egg on my face. But I don't know if that's going to happen is my concern. And I don't know why it should happen other than pure fan service. And that's my problem, because it's like, if they conform to that, what's next? Are we going to bring Jill back? Because Jill's another person people always want to say back. And it's just, I'd rather them let Radio Silence go make their film. Let them do, let's see what a Radio Silence film looks like before we start trying to bring back characters that Wes Craven established and built. Because at the end of the day, these guys aren't Wes Craven.
And that's what I'm more interested in seeing anyways, is like, what's their take on this film? This last movie, and I said this earlier in the live stream, was like, every time they were like, I don't really know what to do here, they thought to themselves, what would Wes Craven do? So in a lot of ways, Scream 5 is kind of like a version of like what Wes Craven would have done in a lot of ways. So to me, I would rather them just like go nuts with an original idea, something that completely changes up the formula. But would you like to see Chad as the opening kill? Because like, a lot of speculation would point towards one of these characters is going to be dying in the opening scene. If it had to be anybody, would it be Chad? Would it be Mindy? Would it be Tara? Who would you kill if you had to kill one of the surviving characters from the past film in the opening scene?
So real quick, Bearded, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're awesome. But to answer your question, I think he's making me real quick. That's a question. He's gonna make me a Stu Funko Pop with a TV on its head.
Oh no way!
As nice. Yeah, and so he said it says 1978 to 1996. Again, thank you, Bearded. You're awesome. I really do appreciate you. But yeah, no, back to your question. Out of the survivor, I mean, you could make an argument for all of them, really, because I mean, Sam really didn't hit for a lot of people. I didn't really mind her, but a lot of people felt she was lackluster and want to see Tara thrust in the spotlight. So that would be a nice way to kind of go about that. You kill off Sam, do that. Tara, I mean, she isn't the main character. Maybe she does die, but beyond that, Jenna Ortega, she is just shooting off to the moon right now. She's even filming a movie right now and stuff like that. I don't know what movie it is, but I know she is filming a movie right now. She's got the Wednesday series, all this stuff. So she might not be obtainable for a Scream 7. So it's like, do you keep her alive? Chad, I think personally, is the most likely to be killed off, just based on the other three that we got. And I think he makes the most sense. But even Mindy, I mean, historically, until they can reintroduced and confirmed Kirby's survival, they've always killed her character off, right? Randy, Kirby, that kind of thing. So I mean, you can make the argument there. I feel like you can make it. Critical Overlord, what's up?
Critical Overlord is in the chat. What is going on? What's up? What's up?
We're friends. See,
Critical. If you want to come on the stream, man, just saying.
Come talk Stu with us.
Come talk about. Come talk about Stu with us, bro.
Well, I'm not talking positively about Stu. I just want to get that clear.
Yeah, we're talking about Stu, but not in the
Yeah.
most positive light. So
Yes, but yeah, no, yeah. So back to the point is that I do think you can make an argument for really all four of them if you wanted. I personally would like to see them, and I even threw this out there on the collective, right? I was saying, like, what if they made a film that wasn't centered around really either of them, like individually? It was like a group effort or whatever the case may be, or make Christina Carpenter kind of more of like the Sydney role, I guess, for just this film, and then that way, like, you can just develop the four characters. You don't have them. You need to put them in compromising situations, of course, because it's a horror movie, but you don't have to kill them in that manner. Right. So I think that would be a unique way. And then you kind of carry them over into a Scream 7. And then that's where the boiling point sort of reaches. And you have all the, chaos.
Yeah. So you essentially want to keep these characters as like the new OG is what you're saying. Like they're like the new. No?
I mean, I feel like that's a little strong because I don't think
yeah.
I don't think you ever replaced the OG3. But
because like to me, if they survive that many times, like make it through this next movie, they get chased, they get stabbed, but like they still all give the thumbs up at the end of Scream 6, you're kind of doing the same thing that we did in the last couple of films, right?
Yes, but okay, but here's the thing. Okay, Scream 5 was again basically 96 modernized. What happened in Scream 2? You had 4 survivors from 96, and then Randy died, and then was replaced by Cotton, who died in the opening scene of Scream 3. Are we really going to do that again? Are we really going to have the 4 survivors, right? You're going to kill off one of them, have a new character, let's say Samara Weaving for whatever. She comes in, and now you got 4 again, and then one of them dies in the opening scene or midway through. Like, I just think instead of, don't make it about them entirely, like kind of what Tara, Mindy, and Chad were in.
Take a shower, Cody. Do what you got to do, man. We'll be here all night. Well, until 11. So
but like kind of like how kind of what outside of Sam, like Sam was the main character, and then you have the other 3 as like the background characters. Just move Sam to the background with the 3 of them, develop them further, so us as an audience can get more engaged, more involved, sort of enjoy their characters further. And then in Scream 7, if you want to kill them all off, go ahead, like but at least allow us to digest the characters further, really get them established, because I really do feel like 1, we're going to get a trilogy, and 2, it's all going to be one, maybe not direct story, but it's going to all tie together. Like kind of like Scream 1 through 3, like each one was kind of its own standalone film, but they all essentially tied together. I think we're going to get the same route, but I would like to see them sort of maybe instead of just trying to recreate the original 3 films, actually allow Scream 6 to bleed into 7. Now let me your characters.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If they were to take the focus off of Sam, though, doesn't that sound a little too much like what happened with the new Star Wars trilogy? Like how, you had Finn up at the forefront for that like entire first movie, pretty much. A lot of people didn't like him because like he was, I think in my opinion, his performance is fine, but the script he was given, John Boyega, unfortunately just wasn't fantastic. It was very all over the place. It seems like he was directed by like 3 or 4 different people. At one point he's being very serious, and the next shot he's being very silly. It's all his characters all over the place. A lot of people didn't like it. They kind of pushed him to the side and ate with a weird subplot that had nothing to do with the movie. And then in the last film, I don't even know why he's there. So if they give the same treatment to Sam Carpenter, I'm just going to be like, why did they introduce her? Why did they do this? Why did they even have her in the movie in the first place? I feel like you're kind of in a box with Scream 6 with a few things. Less things than with Scream 5, but you have to keep the focus on Sam Carpenter. If you don't, and you just try to make the whole movie about Tara Carpenter now, you're going to lose a massive storytelling element of it that I feel like would be lost and would kind of just turn into what essentially is the same product as the new Star Wars trilogy, which I could not listen, I've watched those movies a couple of times. I couldn't tell you from start to finish what the fuck happens in 7 through 9. Those are all over the place kind of movies. So yeah, I don't know. I don't want the same thing to happen.
I think 1, the sequel to Star Wars was just not a good movie, period. I mean, it had its issue. The story was all like, it was a mess in many ways. And so one, I don't think we can compare the two until we actually see the end result. Because I mean, even Scream 5, people were comparing Star Wars, the latest Star Wars trilogy, to it, right? Oh, you're killing off Dewey, you're doing that again, blah blah blah. And I get like, but they're two separate franchises and two separate worlds. Like, yeah, there might be similarities, but you can find similarities in almost any franchise if you really look and you find spots. I don't really worry about that. I'm not saying like completely move off of Sam Carpenter entirely. I'm saying, but you can tell the story without the killer and the motive and everything just kind of orbiting around Sam. Like, you could tell the story about the Carpenter family instead of just just Sam. Like, I'm not saying, let's get rid of Sam and replace her with Tara or whatever the case may be. And each movie is now, you have a new spotlight character, whatever the case may be. That I don't think I want to see them do. But what I mean is, you don't have to make Sam your main focal point the entire movie, and you can still develop her. You can still have her as an integral part of the overall story and film, and still have a successful movie. And then let's say for example, like a thing that I threw out with I think this is a perfect example. And the Lethal Collective, when we were talking about it, I said, like, what if Scream 5 was about the bloodlines, the lineage of the children. Scream 6 was about the parents, Martha Meeks, Leslie Macher, Christina Carpenter. If Joel Jones really is the father of the Meeks twins, you got him. I mean, you could have easily, Hank Loomis, all these things. You could have 7 to 8 adults. You're telling their story. It's like a collective effort with the younger group kind of sprinkled in, all that stuff. I think that would be great. And then Scream 7 is the culmination of the surviving adults, the surviving children, and the big showdown with the end result. You have the big Avengers climax moment where everyone is assembled for the final film to take down the cult of Ghostface, the Dreaded Post, whatever the case.
Ghost faces, assemble!
Assemble, right? And now you have the big epic showdown. I made a video on my channel too, talking about, like, have you ever seen the movie Crash?
That's the Cronenberg movie, right?
Yeah, it's like the drama movie.
It's one of the only films of his I have not seen.
Really?
Gonna be totally honest. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah.
without ruining the movie, essentially what the film is it's like several different characters, right? And it's all separate stories, but all the stories intertwine with each other, right? And to tell one grand story. Like, that would be awesome for a Scream film, especially if the plot that we got is actually the plot for Scream 6, right? Where you have 2 separate attacks in 2 separate locations going on. So you can have characters in, let's say, in New York, characters in Woodsboro, all going through the same thing. You're telling different stories, you're intertwining these things. And then Scream 7, everything meets at a point. Like, I think that is something that'd be really cool. And then, so now it's a group effort rather than just an individual Scream. It tells a completely different Scream story and movie that we've never gotten. And you can keep us engaged. It's fresh. It's still a Scream movie. Because I just think as long as you keep what Scream inherently is, the opening scene, the big whodunit elements, sprinkled some meta in there, and then the big reveal, I think you're safe. Outside of that, you could do whatever you want. Because that's all Scream really is. So... yeah. Let's branch out. Let's tell different stories. Ultimately what I mean is, like, I don't mean like, let's just, like, if Scream 6 just didn't have the 4 survivors in it, I'd be furious. I'd be like, what are you doing? So I don't mean like, let's push them to the back burner, but I mean, you can tell a story and still have them involved, have them as an integral part, put them in compromising situations. Not, don't do like the Dewey route where, like, every film he was brutally murdered. And then at the end, he's just thumbs up. Like, how did he survive that? It's always some silly explanation. Oh, they stabbed some old scar tissue. Like, what are the odds of that? Like,
what are the odds of that?
He got stabbed like 30 times, and every time he was stabbed, it was old scar tissue. Like,
I think there was a part of me that was like, Dewey has been living on borrowed time for such a long time. I'm kind of not shocked they killed him. Like, thinking back at it, it's like, wow, exactly. The fact that he lived as long as he did, man, he did pretty good for that. So I don't know. It's funny, but
So instead of Joel's is the twin of the fathers in the Scream universe is really small. I mean, of course, I mean, it is small. It's it's how it. It's still a
I think
film.
it's sweet, you know? It's
Yeah,
sweet that Martha
it's
and
still a
Joel
film.
found each other.
Yeah, it's still a movie at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's not like he was some guy that was just randomly. He had connections and stuff like that. He was Gail Weathers' cameraman. Gail Weathers knew
Yeah.
Randy Meeks. He knew Randy Meeks. Like there are connections that you can make it make sense. It's not like he was like the smoothie guy in New York. And it's like, how did he end up Martha's? Like, you have the tie-ins.
I think when it comes to like little things like that, I'm okay with stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if it's like if if your entire plot revolves around something like that is a stretch, that's where I start to lose the interest. But if you want to do little things like that with your movie, sure. That's totally fine. Crazy things like that happen in real life. Why not? That I'm totally cool with. But when you start getting into territory where it's like, oh yeah, we have to do this, this, and that. These characters have to make this really dumb decision for this to work. That's where I start to lose interest.
Yeah, it's like,
I was watching this movie called Wolf Creek the other day. You ever see Wolf Creek?
yeah, they're coming out with a third one.
Oh my god,
Dude. Those movies are so ridiculous, but they're so beloved. They're like huge in what is it, Australia or whatever.
People must love these movies, and I'm gonna be honest,
like
I just didn't care for it, man. The only reason that movie works is because the characters make two of the dumbest decisions I've ever seen in a horror film back to back. That's the only reason why that movie is 90 minutes. And I guess it's based off of a true story. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, if real people made those decisions, I'd be like, wow, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man.
We know how it is, though. That based on a true story label is not what it used to be. Now it's very loose. They used a character's name and
and that's it. Yeah, right. Okay, now that's based on a true story. Dude, they shoot the killer kind of in the neck. It basically just grazes him. Okay, and they're like, "Oh, he's dead. It's fine." No, he's not. What? No, he's not dead. They leave, and then they decide that the best way to cover up their tracks is to drive the running car off of a cliff. That happens in 5 minutes. That happens in a 5-minute span of that movie, and I almost turned it off. I'm like, "Are you kidding me? you gotta be kidding me." I don't know. So that movie, I kind of took a lot of issues with.
You should watch all of them.
I bet the second one is rough.
He basically dies in all of them, and he's Jason Voorhees at this point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wolf Creek is big in the UK. Yeah, there you go. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was the UK that I'm thinking of. But yeah, I know it's huge in a lot of areas. I
will say, director Greg McLean, though, of that movie, made this movie called Rogue a couple years later. It's about a crocodile that eats these people who get stranded on an island. Dude, so good. I loved it. One of my favorite. It's probably the best CGI crocodile movie ever made. Not that that's a high bar to cross, but definitely up there.
You might have an addiction to alligators and crocodiles.
I love. Oh my god!
I'm gonna buy you a pet crocodile or a pet alligator.
If you can get me a prop from the original alligator from 1980, I would literally love you forever. You would be. I would for sure be your future baby daddy.
Oh, that's what's up. If anyone knows how to get that, please. Jordan screams for IPS, which he said. Which I see a lot of, where Joel is a lot older than Martha. It's 4 comments above. It is at 658 or so. I guess that'd be 958 for you or something.
Oh yeah. There we go. And Joel is a lot older than Martha.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've seen that a lot, but it's not ridiculous. Richie and Amber are almost the same. Are almost the same age gap. Because Joel Jones in Scream 2. He's introduced as a young 20-year-old. So let's say he's 22, right? Martha in Scream 2 would have been what? She would have been 14, 15. So you're talking an 8, maybe at most 8-year age gap, which Amber and Richie were 6, and they were secretly loved. I mean, and yes, it would be weird and uncomfortable if they got together when she was 16 and he was 24. But
yeah,
people meet later in life, because Joel likely went and did his thing, did whatever, however their paths crossed, it likely would have been an older age. And people marry all the time. and there's much bigger age gaps than that, especially back in like the 90s. I mean, most married couples were 10 plus years apart. I mean, even my mom and my stepdad were like 12 years apart, whatever. Like my dad and my mom were like something like 8 years apart, 9 years apart. Like, so it's not an uncommon thing. You know what I mean? It's like, now it's like, I mean, like I said, it'd be a little weird, but Amber and Richie, like I said, were 6 years apart and nobody was like, what? That's disgusting. That's weird. Like, it's like, it's something that people wouldn't notice, because it happens in real life too.
Yeah, that hopefully doesn't happen. I hope that doesn't happen too much where it's 25-year-olds trying to date underage girls. But my point is like, like older people. Yeah, that's
I didn't mean common, that. Yeah. I meant like, I know. People get to, like Martha and Joel could have met like when she was, let's say 23 and he was 30, like that's not unrealistic. Like, it's one of those things. Like they don't have to make it creepy. They can make it,
they don't have to make it like pedophilia. Yeah.
But I mean, like you could look back.
I'm just messing with you.
This married couple is 10 years apart, so that means they weren't even born when they were 10. Like, really, we're gonna do that? Like, it's like, go on.
Now, Cody is asking about The Witch. He says he watched it and he thought it was really weird. Have you ever watched that movie, The Witch?
Yes.
What do you think about it?
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
I appreciated what they tried to do. I just thought it was really sort of boring and just like it was all over the place in many ways to me. Like I felt like you really had to pay attention to really follow along. Like it was one of those movies. Like if you went and took a piss and came back, you were lost. Like, you're like, what the hell happened? Like
the dialogue, man. Like I get that the whole point of it is supposed to be like, it's supposed to be like period accurate to a T, and like they do an amazing job with that in that movie. But like, it's tough to follow. Like it is. It's like it's almost like you got to watch it with like real English subtitles. Like it's almost like they're speaking another language. I will say it's when you actually understand the story. It's pretty cool. Like it's one of those movies where at first I was like, whatever about, but the more I've watched it, the more I've come to appreciate it, especially that third act that just gets completely nuts. There's a scene where like the raven is like picking at that girl's boob and it's just really messed up. I don't know. It's scary stuff. So Coop de Oof is in the chat. What is up, Coop de Oof? Funny ghost face D's nuts. Nice.
Got him.
Got him. Coop de Oof always spitting some mad facts with these super wise super chats.
He's a philosopher for sure.
Philosopher Coop de Oof.
Dude, that guy came and went faster than anybody. Like that. Got him. These nuts.
Wasn't that guy like he was like a quarterback for the Jets or something? Right or no?
No, the D's nuts guy. No,
yeah,
no, he was.
I thought he was like somebody like really famous, and that's why it was
some,
why
like,
it blew
random
up.
Guy, and then like blew up because of those things, and then he came and went fast. Like,
and that was it.
He got his 15 minutes of fame. Hey, which I am mad at him. I would have been that guy if I could have been. Give me my 15 minutes of fame.
I'll live stream and say D's nuts all the time.
D's
sure,
nuts.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
No, yeah. What? Okay. Gotta get out of here. What? Coop de Oof, I was giving you a compliment. I was saying you were a wise fella.
Coop de Oof. No.
Coop de Oof.
No. I want to hear somebody say his name in like a thick German accent.
Coop de Oof.
That'd be great.
So Fate, I gotta be honest with you. When Craven comes in here, gotta be fair to the man. I am gonna have to kick you out. I promised him that time slot.
Absolutely. Well, I don't even know what time is he coming on?
I pressed a button. Am I still here? I'm still here.
Yeah, you're still here.
Thank God. I got really scared for a second.
Cool. Are we though? Are we really here? Like, no,
are we really here though?
Just like into some like philosophical conversation.
Philosophically, are we here though? Like just so like what?
I was gonna leave. I was gonna leave regardless what Craven got on. One, because I know this won't be your stream anymore, and two, like it is your guys' time. I just wanted to get you a couple super chats and say my piece.
I appreciate it.
What time is he coming
on? Like probably 5 minutes or so. So
all right.
He's coming on in like 10-15.
Give me one more fire rant to go on, and then I'm out of here, people.
Hell yeah. What do you want Fate to go on a crazy rant about before he has to
Hear it.
leave, everybody?
Here we go. Make it fast. I got 5 minutes.
Now I must spend my mom's money again.
Go get her card.
Okay. Oh my god, this is a thing. The last stream was hilarious. Coop Diouf, he spent a lot of his mom's money on here.
Yeah,
I don't encourage that, but at the same time, it makes for a good joke, you know. So there we go.
Wasn't I on that stream?
It was on the stream. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I was saying no, but what didn't I come on that stream when you?
Yeah,
guys
you were on that stream.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, where you guys kept saying like, "Oh, your mom's gonna be so mad" or whatever.
My mom's gonna be so mad at me.
My mom's gonna be so mad at me.
Spoil the entire Red Right Hand script. I triple dog dare you. Matt is working tirelessly right now to format our script and not make it look like the shitty Google Doc that it once was. So thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate it. I won't spoil the whole thing, but I will say, if you want to become a channel member at the Jason tier or above, you're going to get a big ol' update on Red Right Hand this Friday. We're going to maybe even put a little something in there for our top, our top contributors, top channel members, top Patreon supporters. You guys will see a crazy update coming this Friday. So I have some very interesting things to spill the beans on. Very pumped for that. So what do you, what last topic of the day? I think we got to come back to Stu. That's what this whole live stream's about. Is there any capacity you, Mr. Fate, decided? Is there any way, shape, or form you could see him coming back in a way that would be to your liking?
Like I've had people ask me how would I make it happen? Look, I don't rule out the possibility of him being in like a flashback or something along those lines. Whatever the case, a dream sequence, whatever may.
Here we go.
Whatever the case may be. But like,
thanks, man.
Like one of the ways I said, because like I said, you got to lay the groundwork in Scream 6, right? Like that has to be done, and then to bring them back into Scream 7. So, like I was saying, like if it was me to briefly put this, because I went more in depth, but essentially Scream 6, you'd have like the way I do it is I'd make the killer seem like it is Stu, right? You have the whole thing, so you get the establishment that he's alive, people think it's him. Or maybe he's orchestrating it, or whatever the case may be. It's like kind of weird, whatever the case may be. And then the big reveal is that it's not Stu, it's Leslie Macher, his sister, that kind of thing. But now you've basically made your whole movie about Stu without making your movie about Stu, if that makes sense. And you've laid the groundwork for Stu to return. Therefore, Scream 7, he can return, and then it makes sense, And so I think that's probably the easiest route to go about it that I could think of without making it too complicated and answering basically all the questions you'd need to answer. Because that's the big problem is that you basically have to dedicate your whole movie to explaining how Stu Macher survived,
how he came back.
How where he's been, what's been going on, why he got released, like all of these things. So I think that's probably the best route. Now, like I said, if they can come up with some great way, that's the writer's job. I'm not a writer on Scream 6, So like if they could find a way to properly write the story and bring them in and all that stuff, and they can bring them in, then cool. Like, I'll appreciate it as much as anyone else. I will. I'll like I said, I love Stu Macher. I'm not hateful towards, people wanting Stu back. I'm not hateful towards Stu coming back. It's just it just doesn't make any sense like right now.
I want it to have I just want it to be a powerful story that really just continues to be something powerful, to be like a force to reckon with in the slasher genre. I don't want it to just be something where it's like we have to rely on bringing a character back to tell a good story. That's what I'm the most worried about with this film. I really just don't want that to happen. I don't want them to sacrifice what could be a great story, because I could see them writing a Scream 6 that would be awesome and so innovative, so different for this franchise. I just don't want them to sacrifice that just to bring back a beloved character. That's my biggest thing. I don't want them to do that if they're just going to make it like all about, it's all about Stu now. So that's my thing. Coop to Oof, thank you for all the super chats, man. I greatly appreciate it.
You have a 6-year-old. It's very specific.
Yeah,
but
very specific.
Kind of in closing, like I said, I agree with you. I want them, I just feel like it's better to go in another direction. Like we need to stop trying to go. We need to not go backwards. We need to go forward. Wes Craven isn't walking through the door. Rest in peace. So, like, what's the point? Like, if we want this franchise to continue to be great, continue to be successful, we need to find other foundations for it to grow on, other than just Sidney Prescott and bringing back old characters. Like, we need to do more than that. And so ultimately, I hope that's the case, and they end up going a different route. But like I said, I mean, look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Like if
they bring him back,
if they bring him back, and I'll be the first one. I'll take all the backlash. I'll take everything, because I've been very public about it, and I know it'll come. But I just here's the thing too, is that like I don't want like if you hate it, I don't want to hear you. Like if you're somebody that's like, if you're somebody like if they bring Stu back and you're somebody that's like, oh, well, they brought Stu back, but I hated it. I don't want to hear you in my comments. If you're somebody that absolutely loved it and you truly loved it, and you thought it was great, then go ahead. You can come at me if they bring Stu back, which, but because nothing's worse than somebody that's like, they brought him back, you were wrong, but I hated it. Like,
it's gonna be a shock if they bring him back. Like it'll be shocking. It'll be nuts. But like T. Parker Evans says this really, really well. I think good story, awesome kills, suspenseful chase scenes. That to me, I value more than Stu coming back, and him coming back could possibly ruin that. Is my problem. So. If they can bring him back and do all those other things as well, cool. Let's go. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do that. Yeah. Last little thing I want to say.
Matt says you guys are my favorite Scream tubers. Thanks, Matt. Oh man, you're the best.
He's trying to have a threesome. I think your friend's trying to rope us into a three-way.
We've been trying to rope you into a three-way.
That's a Clerks 2 reference, by the way.
I haven't seen it, dude. I haven't seen that one. I've seen it once. I've seen Clerks 2 once a very long time ago.
If you've seen Clerks 2, I hope you got that reference.
The first one I've seen like 3 or 4 times though. I love the first one. Oh
yeah, they're great, and they're coming out with the third one. But
I know, let's go.
I really hope, I'm not gonna lie, and I even said this on Craven stream because I crashed it the other day. Is I was like, I would love more than nothing if they brought Stu back and then they killed him in the opening scene. Like remember when I brought that up in the Lethal Collective? Like,
and his face was just like.
Dude, yeah, and he was like, "What?" I mean, you and Knight were kind of like, "Yeah, like that could work." And I was like,
"I just thought it was so funny."
I swear to you, I would like if that happened, I would be the happiest little girl in the world. Like I wouldn't even care that people are coming at me because Craven, like I just know deep inside Craven is dying, and on top of that, he would come at me. He would talk some shit, but. It wouldn't be the same way as if it was. He might be like, "Yeah, see, I told you Stu came back," but he'd be dying inside. Like, to me, that would be more. I would be happier with that than him not being back at all.
What would be so fucked up about that is I would go to the theater to see the movie and to see that everyone else would be like, like that, and I would just be like tears streaming down my face, laughing so fucking hard because that, like, I would be laughing, I would be going nuts in the theaters, and everyone would just think I was an asshole. But like that would be so, like, tell me after all like years of conversing about that, you see that happen on screen, I'd lose my mind.
Dude,
I'd lose my mind.
It would make so much sense though too. It would be a happy medium for everybody that wants to see Stu back. Two, like you could have like an extended opening scene, like 15, 20 minutes, whatever. You see Stu get out of prison. You see all that come out. He thinks it's safe. And then boom, he dies. The motive is like, Ghostface wants to kill the bloodlines, whatever the case may be. He dies. You don't have to explain anything if you kill him. Then it doesn't matter. There you go. Now it's game away. So everybody wins. But just the joy I would get watching, like it would be a roller coaster ride. Because I'd be in the theater. I'd be watching it. I'd be like, oh, like I would see Steve Stu come on. I'd be like, great, here we go. And then I'd watch him die. And I'd be like, yes. I'd be like, yes. and then
I would just think about the craziest fucking conversation we would have to have after that. Like, I don't even know if I'd be able to watch the rest of the movie. I would just be like, oh my God. I know. I would just be thinking about how hurt Craven would be, man. It would make me so upset. Well, here we go, everybody.
Oh, he's here. I'll say
Our-
hi, and then I'll get out.
Yeah, I'll let you say hi.
Let me say hi real quick.
The conductor of the Stu train himself has just come aboard the live stream. Craven something scary. What is going on, Steven?
What is up, gentlemen? Yes, the conductor of the Stu train is here. All ye out there who are concerned, don't worry, I'm here to save the day. It's all going to be good. You can all take a deep breath, a deep, relaxing breath, because the Stu train is no less damaged, no less off the tracks. We are rolling hard, we're rolling heavy, and baby, we're coming to your town, so you better get a ticket, because it's coming.
Good luck arguing my facts, buddy.
Oh, trust me, it's going to be my pleasure.
Anyway, Jake, you can leave. All right, let's do this.
Yeah, you guys just talk. Go nuts. Now.
As Cotton said at the end of Scream 2, he said, yes, indeed, there is a place. Yes, indeed, there is a time. But it's not tonight.
Me and
Not
Craig,
tonight.
I love you guys. I'm going to get out of here. I'll let
You too,
guys
buddy.
Thanks for stopping by, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for letting me crash your stream, Craven. I'll have to crash yours again soon.
Absolutely, dude.
Thank you, everyone in the chat, for being a part of it. Thanks to who was it that gave the super chat?
Coop de Oof. We got.
No. I mean,
Drew.
everyone that gave super chats, thank you. But who was the one that gave the $20 one to get me on?
Drew something. Drew, thank you, Drew. If you're still here,
thank you so much.
Drew.
I'm glad. Thank you for helping him and bringing me on. I appreciate all of you. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Don't start. Give me a few minutes so I can go, because I want to listen to what Craven's got to say. So don't jump into it immediately. Have a conversation for a second, and then let me get myself together so I can yell at you guys in the comments. All
right, buddy.
See you later.
See you later,
hey,
man.
We'll see you, man. Peace.
Oh.
So what's up, man? How's it going?
It's good. How's the stream been going? I popped in a little bit earlier, and then when I saw Fate start spewing the nonsense, I said, okay, I got to check out. I'll check back in a little bit later. And so, no, I'm just kidding.
No, we're having a good time, man. It's great. We listen. You got to start spitting some facts on here, because I got people in the chat already dissing the Stu train, saying Stu is dead. As you know, I'm pretty neutral on the topic. Ghostface, thank you for the super chat, though. I greatly appreciate it. I will say, yeah, I'm pretty neutral on the topic. I'm pretty one way or the other about it.
Yeah.
I just kind of like watching the chaos unfold. I'll be completely honest. But if you want to listen, I'm giving you this time slot now up until 11 o'clock pretty much, which is when the super chats have granted us that amount of time. If you want to just pitch your argument towards me a little bit, or if we can talk about anything really, if it's Stu, if it's Scream 6, I don't care. Mm-hmm. Whatever you want to talk about, let's go nuts.
Okay, well, first thing I want to talk about is if you are on the Stu train or if you're not, and if you're in the middle, like kind of where Jake's at right now, there is something I want you to know. I want you to know this. There is a date that you need to circle. And the date you need to circle right now in your calendars is June the 4th. June the 4th, it's a Saturday night, 9 p.m. Central to midnight. Because, ladies and gentlemen, all I can tell you right now is that all your questions, objections, and skepticisms will be answered. And in what will be quite possibly the most epic, monumental Stu Macher stream of all time. And so all I'm going to say is, for me to peel the curtain back too much now would spoil what's being planned, and it'd be much better for you to see it on June the 4th. So I will say it like this, Jake. There are a lot of good reasons, number one, to believe that he's alive. A lot. There's several, and I say we because it's not just me. I've got several folks involved, and we're going to be tackling a lot of stuff. But I will tell you all this: if you're on the fence, there are good reasons to believe that he lived. And there's multiple lines too, not just like one thing where you can say, "Oh, it's because of that." No, it's because of that, and that. And when you look at a cumulative case, Jake, that's what becomes compelling. It's like a court of law. You know, when they put together lines of evidence to win a case. And so I will say this, that if you are on the Stu train tonight, You have no reason to be ashamed of it. You have no reason to be in doubt about it. You have no reason to second guess your position. You have no reason to be molded and twisted into thinking your view is wrong. You have no reason to hear hyperbole in place of facts, hyperbole in place of good thinking to make you think you're wrong. If you are on the Stu train, ladies and gentlemen, you have good reason to be there. Hunker down, buckle up, strap yourself in, and don't let anyone take you off that train because you have good reasons. There are really a lot of good reasons. And if you're not on the Stu train, it's okay to let that bias go. We can do it. Let's go. Get it
What
up.
Carrie said. But
That's what I'm saying. Get it up.
I think it's great that we have so many people speculating about a bunch of crazy different theories. Like that's what's awesome about all this. I think that's my favorite part of it all. I will say, like for me, something
Yes.
I'm concerned about with Stu coming back, and like I know
All
we've
right.
oh wait, and one more thing before I get into this, I do want to say I can't talk. Listen, I've sworn to secrecy on this, but June the 4th, you should check out Craven Something Scary's channel. That's all I'm gonna say because oh wow. Do all of us have something crazy planned? So you don't want to miss that one. You don't want to miss that one.
Nope.
Make sure
Thank you,
to
Jake.
be there. Yes.
Yes,
of
thank
course.
you very much. That's so
So,
true. You guys have
check that out.
I can't even prepare you for what you just be there. I'm
You
going to
have no
set it up
idea.
in a couple of weeks. In fact, in a couple of weeks, Jake, you and I talked about it earlier. In a couple of weeks, Jake's being gracious enough to invite me back on, and I'm going to have something more formal that we can really lay out to the people. And anyway,
Yes.
until then, stay tuned.
Until then,
Until then.
stay tuned for updates and all that. So yeah, June the 4th. But something I want to say to you, and I want to hear what you have to say about this is. I feel like if they bring him back, it's inevitable that I don't see a way where they can bring him back and to not make it all about like Sidney Prescott again. And then it kind of just like it feels like the story has to initially just go back to where we were in Screams like 2 and 3. Like that's to me, it's like you have to go back to that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I like the story in Screams 1 through 3, but that's been told, that's been over with. Can they do something new and fresh with him again in Scream 6 or Scream 7?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, man. And I do think it will probably be Scream 7. As much as I'd love to see him return, that's right, Fate. That's what I'm talking about. That's why you got to be there on the 4th so we can show the facts. Exactly. I 100% agree. Now, the thing about it is, yeah, I do think we'll see him in 7 versus 6, most likely. Because I think that if this is truly a trilogy with the mindset from the beginning, I think that's where you do the big reveal, right? You save it. And also, it could be another reason why maybe we won't see Nav in 6. I don't know. She might still be there. But if she hasn't signed on yet. But if she doesn't come, we might see her in 7. But either way, I think that there's actually things in 5 that I can outline, and I'm going to actually working on a video. It'll probably be next week. But basically kind of outlining as I've watched the movie more and more and more times, I just things that are very subtle. They're not going to hit you over the head with it, right? Not in 5. It's very subtle things. But yeah, I'm going to kind of illustrate these things all together where I think there's already hints of him around in 5 now. But again, it's going to be a thing where they can unveil it for the big thing in 7. But to answer your question, no, you don't have to make it about Sidney at all, in my opinion, because you've got Leslie Mocker now introduced, which is a new character we never knew about before. So now you've got her in the story that you can connect with Stu. You've also got, of course, Sam being Billy's daughter. There's a connection to the original back with Theo. So as long as you've got Sam and you've got Leslie in the mix, you don't even have to have Sidney there, and you could still make it work. I think, though, if you're going to bring Stu back like in 7, I do believe that you want to bring Sidney back. I would want to bring Sidney back if I was a writer because I want Sidney to be involved, be a part of that final battle with Stu. But you know what? Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't even bring her back for that. Maybe you really, if you really wanted to establish this as moving away from Sidney, but not completely away from the past, remember that distinction. You can move away from Sidney without having to move away from the past. It's doable. It's not an impossible thing. It just needs to be well written. And then it comes down to another question for you.
Yeah.
Are these writers capable of it? faith do you have in Guy and James
That's
to do that?
That's my thing, man. It would be such a difficult task. I'd be like, I don't like, because Guy Busick has really only written like 2 scripts that have made it to the big screen. So that's another thing that I'm kind of worried about. James Vanderbilt is a little more seasoned of a writer, but yeah. Koopty Oof, thank you for the super chat, says, my dad just came in my room and started playing fart noises, send help. That's my entire childhood in a nutshell, pretty much, Koopty Oof. Gonna be completely honest with you. So thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's not that I don't like Guy Busick and James Vanderbilt. I think they're great. I think they've, for example, Guy Busick killed it with Ready or Not. Once again, killed it with Scream. I'm actually starting to think I like Ready or Not maybe a little more in the Radio Silence catalog, honestly. Tough. It's like, for me, their top 2 movies are Scream and Ready or Not, but it's like, it's up there. How I feel about it, though, is like, these guys are still, like, Guy Busick is still a young writer. He's still, like, not super mature when it comes to his writing style. For him to write something like that, I feel just would get maybe a little flustered. It would be tough. It would be a chore to write something that insane, that crazy. And it might just be easier to start fresh with new characters. That might be ultimately the avenue to the best story for a Scream 6. But if they want to set something up throughout 6, like maybe give a little more Easter eggs as to like, hey, Stu Macher's maybe still alive. And then in 7, bring him back as a big reveal at the end. I could see it being the case. I could see him doing something along those lines.
And I really think, for me, I was really wanting him in 6 for a while, and then the more I've thought about it, I think that I really do think I'm wanting to see him in 7. I think I want to see the reveal not done now, just lay groundwork, great, lay out some more breadcrumbs for us, and get us ready for 7 in the big reveal. And here's the other thing, though, that the reason why this might work, even though they are young writers, is that we have Kevin Williamson involved in here as an executive producer, and we know he gave consulting to the last script, and he gave him pointers. He asked, so if Kevin Williamson was a writer, like, I wish they would just put him as a third writer, honestly, but
yeah,
they're not doing it, so I wish they would. But whatever. I think that with his guidance, though, perhaps. What do you think? Do you think that Kevin Williamson's guidance might give you more peace of mind at taking a shot, or no?
Like, yeah, I could see them like kind of like taking from maybe some old ideas from like what the Scream 3 script was initially supposed to be. Yep. Like, I could see them doing something like that. But once again, it has to come back to Sidney Prescott or something. What would his motive be? Like, what would his motive be that would be something so original and like blow your mind crazy? And Brandon says something really interesting here. For now, Stu, because of how Poe-ish or Hitchcockian it could get by not rehashing what Stu was in Scream 1. So, 2 things there. Motive. What would Stu's motive be that would be something that doesn't relate to Sidney? And then also, these are a lot of big questions here. Do you think Stu will be similar to how he was in Scream 96? Or would it be so different of a portrayal of the character that maybe people wouldn't like it? Like, is that something you're worried about if they bring him back?
Okay, so the first one, my biggest motive for him right now is twofold. It's twofold. And it really doesn't have anything to do with Sidney at all. Neither one of them. In fact, Sidney, personally, would be my third, at least my third, at the very highest, my third ranked motive. So my first 2 motives are that and Scream 5 did a brilliant job of setting this up. And I'm telling you right now, and it's one of the things I've noticed the more I watch it and I keep hearing it, is that he has never respected. He's never given any respect in the lore of the Woodsboro murders. It's always Billy and his friend, Billy and his lapdog, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
He never gets the recognition. No one ever comes out and says Stu Macher and Billy Loomis. And even in Scream 5, if you look at how carefully things are worded, Jake, like when Sam's riding with Richie, and he's like, who's Billy Loomis or whatever, and she's like, Billy Loomis and his friend carved up a bunch of people. She didn't even call him by name. And then Tara doesn't remember Stu Macher. So there's 2, right in the first, 15 minutes, there's 2 disses on Stu Macher right in 5 right there. And I'm telling you, man, I think one motive is he's ready to finally get He's tired of Loomis taking the spotlight. Second motive, and I don't know that they're one and two, they're just two. I mean, you can intertwine them. Actually, you can kind of mold them into one motive, is that Billy Loomis has a daughter. Sam Carpenter is a huge motive. If Sam Carpenter was not related to Billy, I would have a harder time to think of a motive unless Sidney was more involved. Because you always have the fallback, which is to finish what he started, which is I mean that's kind of the default motive for Stu. You can always go there, but I don't go there first. I'm telling you, I don't go there first. I think there's better motives for this movie or this trilogy is if we just have him focused on Sam and we have him focused on wanting to get the fame, or not necessarily the fame, but the recognition that he's never given. So those are my motives, Jake, and that's why I think that you could write a movie without Sidney Prescott at all, Jake, and have Stu Macher in it.
So here's something I want to pitch to you, and I'm curious how you think about it. What if the whole idea is like along those lines? Like I never got the credit I deserved. I was the mastermind behind all the killings. Like Stu has like a big argument about how like Billy would never have been able to do what he did without me, and I never get the credit I deserve. Like I'm always talked about as the accomplice. Something once again Brandon has a really good point about. What if the whole commentary there is always bringing it back to the original, always trying to connect it? Like you could make fun of that at the same time. I could see that working. Where it's like, it's Stu and he kind of talks about like, oh yeah, like I tried to do this and that, but no one ever gives me the credit. He's like, now I'm going to kill you. And now I'm going to be the one to do it. Exactly. And it's like, maybe he's just the single one. If they do that and they have a really smart and interesting commentary on why everything has to connect to the original and how like people might have thought of it differently and how new movies make you think of the past movies differently, how that can affect your viewpoint, I could see that being really interesting and very necessary if it's a good commentary. But once again, if it's all just for Stu to come back, that's not enough for me to appreciate it. It's got to be a little more than that. You got to have a little something behind it, a little oomph to it for me to really care about that happening.
Well, and honestly, man, and if you can go back to any of my videos I've ever done or any live streams, I've never once said I want Stu back just to be back. I've never wanted that. I've always said that to bring him, I want him back, and I think he's going to come back, but you have to do it right. And I've been the first one to say, the conductor of the Stu Train right here, and I advocate for good writing. I don't advocate for lazy, sloppy writing. I don't want to watch that either. I don't want to see him be forced into something. I'm like, what? And to quote my friend Fate, what are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, you know what I'm saying? No, I don't. I don't want that. I want the story to connect. I want it to be well written. And my point is just simply that it can be. I believe it can. My perspective is you can write it where it fits into this current batch of films, this current trilogy, and it's connecting to the past, but not necessarily connecting to Sidney. So those are my big motives, Jake. I don't know if is that something you'd be on board with if it's written in that way? Would you be like, okay, I'm on board?
That's way more interesting to me than just bringing him back, because like then you have that's a big thing with Scream that I feel like is lost in some of the sequels, especially 2 and 3, is like you kind of forget to comment on the horror genre, which to me that's the big draw to it for the first one. And then in 4 they have a heavy focus on that again, and in 5, somewhat as well. I really like that about this series, and to me, I wish they would have focused a little more on that. I love Sidney Prescott. She's a great character, and her story is awesome in Screams 1 through 3. But to make it all about that again, I just don't know. I don't know. I don't think we need to do that. I think story-wise, Sidney Prescott has been through a good story that has been told, and that's over now. But now we got to focus on let's go back to the roots of Scream without making it a big storyline or a big motive. And what that is the commentary on the horror genre. So if you want to bring back Stu to do that, now that's interesting. That changes the whole ball game for me personally. That's something that I would be pretty interested in seeing, because if they go that route, it's commentary on the horror genre, and you're also kind of compromising with your fan base by bringing back a beloved character. So I could see it work. I could see that working if they go that route. But once again, I don't know if that's the case. These are younger writers. Who knows?
Yep. I mean, all we can do from our seats is just, say what's possible, right? What's plausible and what we would like to see and how we'd like to see it. And you know how this goes, man. How often do we ever get what we actually want or wish that we would see? It doesn't it rarely happens. But we can hope for it and certainly make, I think. And my whole thing is, look, I've never tried to beat somebody over the head over anything. My thing is that here's my position and here's why. I'm going to give you reasons and I'm going to state what I believe is a plausible way to do it. Oh my goodness. There you go, Coop.
Thank you. Sorry.
Coop's always
That's
bringing
just
it,
really
man.
Funny ghost face D's nuts. Nice.
I'm telling you, man. But
Sorry.
so no, it's good. And you asked me another question too. It was a two-parter. The second part you asked was remind me again. I've already forgotten.
So I asked you about the motive, and then I asked you about something. I did ask you about something.
What was the second one?
Oh man, that was such a long time ago. I don't live in the past.
Oh my gosh,
so.
I don't even know. I know all I know is it was about the.
I live in the present, man. I live in the present. I look towards the future.
We'll just roll with it.
I will say if.
Oh my
This
gosh.
has got to be the most ridiculous ask of all time. But if someone puts in $1,000, Fate will debate Craven right now at this very moment.
I mean, if I get half of that, I'll consider it. Otherwise, I'm not even entertaining that.
Bob Hunt, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Stu
What's up,
Train for
Bob?
life.
Yeah, baby, let's go, Bob. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's right.
We're now going for another 10 minutes after 11. So there we go. Super chats keep the party rolling,
right.
everybody. Just want to say that one more time. Heck yeah. So.
I know what it was, Jake. I know what it was. You asked me about personality. Is
Personality.
He gonna be the
That's
same
it. How
Stu?
now? Let me rephrase that question again because now
Yeah.
I'm remembering it. Craven, apparently Coop de Oof is behind you if you want to take care of that real quick while I answer this question.
Somebody's got a knife in my back here, so maybe that's you, Coop. I see the knife right there, or right there. So
You're not worried. You're like, I can take it. It's fine.
I got it, man. It's all good.
So now, if Stu is a totally different character in this movie, does that affect how you feel about him coming back? Like, let's say he comes back, he's super stern, he's super serious. He's like, I'm back here to kill you, Sidney Prescott. You know what I mean? It's a very dark portrayal of the character. Is that too different for you to be like, okay, I'm down for that? Or is that, how do you feel about that? How do you want to see Stu portrayed if he comes back?
Yeah. So if Stu comes back, and by the way, before I answer that, I just saw here. Nick, I see Nick's chat here at 9:40. Have I seen the Rawhead Rex yet? No, I have not seen Rawhead Rex. That if you guys were on the live stream the other day, you guys know what that's all about. No, I have not. So I just had to mention that. All right, so sorry, Jake.
That sounds like something dirty, man. Sounds like something.
Well, I guess it's up to interpretation. It certainly didn't sound very good. But all right, so personality. That's right.
Yeah.
Here's what I expect. If he's back, if they bring him back in this franchise, he's going to be nearly 50 years old now. He's not going to be 17 years old that we saw in Scream 1. And so he's going to be changed. He's going to be older. It's not going to be that same exact person, but a lot of the elements of his personality are still going to be the same. It's not, look, all of us change. Right? We all change over as we grow older in life and mature and all the other things. So, but the point is, if they brought him back as that same guy, it wouldn't look right. It wouldn't be right. I wouldn't like that. I actually want him to be more weathered. I want to see him with the ramifications of what's happened all these years weighing on, how it's weighed on him, all of that stuff. So I want to see a darker Stu, but Stu will never not be Stu to some degree. He's still going to have some jokes. I mean, look, man, the Joker, we've seen the Joker get dark and still crack jokes, man. Right? I mean, come on. So they still have that dark humor about him. So I'm okay with it, Jake. Personally, I don't go with the argument that if he comes back, he's going to be different. Everyone's going to hate him. First of all, I won't, and I know that I'm not the only one. I don't know who everyone is, but I'm not part of that group. So What do you think, man? Because don't you think you have to, right? You can't be. You have to show his state of life now.
I think there's two ways to go about it, and one of them is like, yeah, sure, you could have him come back and be silly again, but then fans would have a problem with that because it wouldn't make any sense, just like you said. But
Exactly.
the other side of that coin is like, if he's even the littlest bit somewhat funny or somewhat goofy, somewhat silly, I feel like people are going to have a problem with that. I don't know if me necessarily I'll have a problem with it, but if he cracks a joke, people are going to be like, well, that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't, he would be like, he had to be locked in his room for a very long time or something along those lines. And I feel like, yes, the fandom might have a problem with that. Me personally, it's like, if they bring him back, yeah, he's got to be a little Stewish. You know what I mean? He's got to have a little ooh, moment, you know, something.
Right. Well, and let's remember this too, Jake, and Jen pointed it out here. I see in the chat, and it reminded me of it because in my grand scheme of things, he is the person who placed the dreaded post in Scream 5 that Amber and Richie responded to. He's behind the whole thing. And so you can't be leading a cult or leading or molding and manipulating, even if it's not a full-blown cult, but manipulating these people unless you have got some charisma, dude. You've never seen a cult leader without charisma. I've never seen it ever. They're all very charismatic. They're endearing figures. They're people that gain your trust, that slowly over time manipulate you into doing things you never thought you'd ever do. That's what a cult leader does. And if and let's face it, the personality of Stu has those characteristics. He's got that charisma about him, that magnetism, and maybe it won't be exactly the same, which I don't think it would be, but it would be weathered. It would be worked out, if you will. It would be very manipulative. So
yeah, no,
that's what I would expect.
Yeah. And that could be cool. I could see that being the case, almost like a Taxi Driver situation, but with Stu Macher. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
Also, Jordan wants to know, why do you think he should return? Like, why do you feel like it's necessary for this character to come back? He also says, "Hey." So, what's up, Jordan?
What's up, Jordan? Yeah, hey man, what's up, man? Well, why should he? Why shouldn't he? I mean, I can just answer it that way. Why not? I mean, we've got Billy Loomis connected to this franchise now, whether we like it or not. Any way you want to look at it, they brought us to this place because they've got Sam being a Loomis. So if they wanted to completely disconnect us from that whole all that stuff, you don't make her Billy's daughter. Because now, as long as she's alive, you've got a connection right back to the OG Ghostface killers. So the Stu's on the table. And what Tyler Gillett said, he said, we're so far down the rabbit hole in these sequels that everything is up for grabs. We're ready to go. And yeah, it's been 25 years. Absolutely. Because that's how old Sam is now. And we don't know when Stu would have gotten knowledge that Sam is even Billy's daughter. What if it's a very simple answer. Of course why would you bring him back after all these years? Because he just found out, like all of us, including Sam and Dewey and everybody else except Amber somehow, all of it found out that this is what's going on. So he could have found out very shortly before placing that dreaded ad. And then that's what started the whole ball rolling, because he wanted to get at Sam, he wanted to get the whole thing going. So to me, that's the reason why Sam, you don't have, if you don't know what you don't know, if Stu doesn't have knowledge of something, then maybe that motivation's not there. But now Sam Carpenter, he finds out. And then, boom, here we go. Everything starts rolling. And so that's my answer to that. That's why you bring him back, because you can in a way that makes sense. And his motive is I just said his motive. And that's why he's waited 25 years.
It's all about Sam, is essentially what you're saying. And I can see that. I can see that.
Yes.
That's why they'd put her in the forefronts. That's why I think whatever this is ultimately building up to, it has to be something centered around Sam. That's something for me. It's like, if they don't do that, you're going to fall into that same pit that the new Star Wars movies fell into, where it's like, they set all this stuff up with your main character and then you just kind of push him to the side through the next two movies. Like, what? Could have developed John Boyega's character much better in the new Star Wars film.
Yeah.
But Coop to Oof, thank you. I still haven't accepted the free Robux and the $19
Dude.
Fortnite card, man.
Are you still trying to get rid of that $19 Fortnite card? That thing's been passed around so many channels now. I don't even know.
I don't need the V-Bucks, man. Someone else give it to some gaming YouTuber. You know, that's how I feel. So one of them will need it more than I do.
Absolutely.
But thank you.
So Jake, is that satisfactory for you, man? Of an answer? Does that make sense to you?
It's a really good answer, I think. I think
Okay.
like there's a way to do it in a way, like to me there is a way to bring back Stu in a way that could make sense, make fans happy in a way where it's not something completely out there and something like just ridiculous in a fan service kind of way. I agree it's possible. I worry though if they do bring him back that they kind of just go the easy routes and kind of just bring him back, make people happy. Hey, look at Stu Macher again. Come watch our movie. That's what I'm worried about. So I have concern there, but I do agree that I don't think it's a theory to just completely pan. I don't think it's something to just not talk about because they brought back Skeet Ulrich to play his character in the new one, and we thought he was dead. We thought no way is he coming back. He came back in some capacity. I wouldn't rule out the idea of Matthew Lillard somehow being in some capacity in one of these next Scream movies. I don't think it's completely impossible.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Absolutely, man. So you're ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for the ticket yet? Or are you still mulling over? Because I've had a really nice ticket. It's on me. I'm not even gonna charge you for it.
Oh, not even gonna charge me
Just
for it.
because you're my buddy, man. You're my bro.
I will get in the back of the Stu train as long as that can happen. If something like that happens, I'm on the Stu train. That's what I say. If I will be on it if it's like something along those lines. It's like something cool like that. So I'm hanging out in the back. I'm gonna hang out in the back of the train.
All right,
that's what
guys.
I'll say for now.
All my Cravenites who are here, there's a lot of you here. Cravenites, everybody's on the Stu train. You heard it here. Jake's back as he was in the caboose, and he started listening to that Fate character, and then he started losing that and stepping out of the train. Now he's back in. Let's go. All right, Jake. I'm glad to have you on the train, buddy.
There we go. Get it up.
Get it up, guys. That's right.
Get it up.
Jake just stepped in and said, Austin, that's right. He is in the train. Look at the love, man. Here we go. Come
Welcome
on, Craven.
aboard.
All my Cravenites, show him love. Let's go. Let Jake know we appreciate him being back in the train. It's where he belongs. It's home. He's with family. I mean, this is what you want. So, Fate. Hey, sorry, Fate. I'm sorry, bud. It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Oh my god. I am enjoying I'm not going to say that on a live stream. I shouldn't say that. Good stuff, Gary. Haha. I thought I was on KillJoy's YouTube, not Craven's.
Psych.
Jake just doesn't want to walk. Yeah, the Stu Train has some very nice beverages. So
absolutely, man. Jack Stennis.
Want to hang out, chill.
He's taking care of the refreshments over there. And
he's taking care of the refreshments.
Oh yeah, he's like stocking everything, full bar, whatever your choice is. If you don't like it to drink, we got sodas, anything you want. Waters.
I'm the one weird guy on the train who's like everyone's on board with the same ideas, but then they come over to me and I'm just like, yeah, Stu's cool, but like I want this like really pretentious social media undertones or some shit, and like everyone's just like,
no.
okay, Jake, you're kind of weird. Just sit at the back of the train. That's me. I'm proudly that guy.
Oh, Jake, are you trying to be the A24 of the Stu's return? Is that what it is?
Everyone thinks I'm super pretentious. They're like, dude, what the hell, man? Like, sit, you can sit in the back. You're here, but sit in the back.
Yeah,
okay?
sit in the back, man. Hey, listen, don't worry, Jake. Because of our relationship, buddy, I will make room for you in the front. I'll be happy to bring you up to the VIP area. It's not a problem.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, we got an extension. We're going longer. Look at that.
We're going even longer now. Holy crap. We're going to at this. Wow, I cannot do math for the life of me. Wait. I said I was going to go to 10:30. So now we're 66 minutes plus that. So we're going to 11:30. We're going to 11:30. Let's say that. Thank you.
35, 40 minutes. About another 50 minutes. About 50 minutes.
Sure. You know what? That works. Have the free 10 doll hairs, D's Nuts, Jake. Also, I have a Stu D's Nuts train ticket. Okay.
Yeah, baby. Coop has got it. Coop, it has a Stu train ticket. Yes, he absolutely does.
Did Fate tell you about that they're apparently going to start a Kickstarter to get Fate decided on the Stu train?
No.
Did he tell you about that?
I
don't
have
know
not
who.
heard anything about this.
I don't know who said that, but Fate was telling me the other day that he's like, someone said that they're threatening me with making a Kickstarter to get him on the train.
That's
and he's like,
hilarious.
he's like, if someone gives me 10K, I'll do it.
Oh, wait
like,
a
"I'll be on the
second.
Stu train."
Yeah, I do remember that when you said that. Yeah, he said for $10,000 he'll be on the Stu train. He'll like let it all go. He'll be on it, and I'm like, dude,
I'm like, that's hilarious.
you know,
I'm sorry. That's so funny.
I mean, it's just sad to see people run from knowledge and truth. You know, because the whole point is just to share light and enlightenment, truth, and knowledge. But you can't force people to accept it. Yeah, you can't. You have to willingly do it. So all we can do as advocates of truth is to share it, present it, and then it's up to the person to take it or leave it. But at the end of the day, it's not going to change what's going to happen because truth will always prevail.
Truth will always prevail.
Always prevail. The Stu train will always roll. So
I want to clarify something, Carrie. I said I don't want to say I'm what I can't remember what she said, but she said something along the lines of like,
I didn't see it.
Jake likes to hang out in enjoying the caboose. I didn't want to say enjoying the caboose on a live stream, but here I am saying it twice. So Coop de Oof again. Oh man, we're just gonna be going all night at this. At least I am.
Yeah,
thank you, Coop de Oof. I appreciate it.
All right, let's keep it
I can
up.
pay for my car this month. Yay, I don't have to return it. I appreciate it.
Oh, dang.
But yeah, so Scream 6. Anyways, Scream
Yeah.
6. We're back on the we're on the Stu train. We're there. We're talking about
Yeah, we are.
cabooses. Is there anything else about Scream 6 that you feel like is critical to this movie? Like, what is even more important to you? Well, maybe not more important. What is very important to you with Scream 6 that you want to see in this film that does not have to pertain to Mr. Stu Macher?
Yeah, I can table Stu because unlike some individuals unnamed, I actually can set aside preferences and get to just the actual like idealistic things. So it's okay. No, I'm just kidding. Kinda. Am I though?
Kinda, just a little bit.
Am I though? Yeah. No, man, it's all good. So
Soft jab
there's
towards Fate Decided.
just a soft. It's just a little poke. It's not even a jab. Yeah. So I think that things I want to see. All right, I want to see either either Sydney return, or if we're not going to get Sydney in 6, and I know you know this too, Jake. I put a video up yesterday. I think you may have too. I'm behind about Kirby signing with a management company yesterday. And I mean, not Kirby, Hayden Panettiere.
Yeah.
Signing with a management company. Now, this does not mean, I know we can't say for sure that means Scream 6, but the timing, you have to admit, is very sus. The timing does.
Yes.
I mean, it's very sus. And after knowing that they were trying to get her, remember, last year, and they were like, no, let's don't do that because it's too short of a part. Remember? We don't want to bring her in for this little tiny role. So they scrapped it and went with the whole YouTube Kirby's Alive thing. So I'm just saying that we have at least a reasonable suspicion that's not unfounded that she could be coming back. So my thought is what I want to see in 6, if Sydney's not there, I want to see Kirby taking the mentorship role, either as like a college professor or a therapist, psychologist that's helping out Tara and Sam with crisis, grief counseling, all of the crisis counseling issues. And I want to see then as the Ghostface begins to kill, guess what? She goes into motion. She's protective. She's been there. And so now she's going to team up and they're going to get involved. And it's going to be Gail and Kirby leading the mentorship role without Sydney, if Sydney's not there. So that's one thing. I'll just go one thing at a time because I don't want to keep random, then we'll forget what we even said like last time.
No, that's perfect,
so,
man. Yeah.
So how do you feel about that? That's my first thing I'll park on, that idea.
I love that idea, honestly. I love the idea of Kirby coming back, maybe filling that mentor role. And if Sydney's not there, of course, I would love to see Kirby back in some capacity. I would love to know like what's going on in her life. Like, what is she doing right now? You know what I mean? Like, what has she been doing for the past couple of years? She's doing interviews with people about how she survived. Is she kind of like making a living off of that? Like, what is going on? Like, I want to know a little more about that. And if they want to dive into her character, a bit more in Scream 6. You could develop her, talk about her past like 10 years or so. I think it would be really interesting. She could be a great new character that could be like come and help in the third act and come to save the day a little bit. I could totally see that happening. I would love to have her back, and another must if they bring Kirby back. And my God, would it be a missed opportunity if they didn't do this? Her and Mindy just going back about horror movies for like,
gosh.
I could watch that scene for 5 minutes. I could watch a 5-minute scene of that.
What if Kirby is professor of the film studies?
Oh my God! Wait,
Mindy's in the film class.
Okay, wait. What if Mindy like hates her though? What if they totally disagree about movies and they just have like this total crazy back and forth? You know what I mean? How cool would that be? That would be really unexpected and interesting. I would kind of love to see that. I think honestly.
It would kind of be like Fade Me with Stu, but about about movies and different issues.
Like you guys are both passionate about the same thing. You just feel like it should go in different directions,
different ways.
That could be a great conversation between Mindy and Kirby, and it could almost make her like a red herring. You know what I mean? It could almost be like, well, is Kirby the killer here? Like, what's going on? Have you ever seen Urban Legend 2?
Okay.
Okay, I swear it makes sense. It makes sense.
Okay, I know I've seen the first one multiple times. Love that. I did see the second one, but if you could recap for me really quickly the plot, just super quick, or
can I spoil the ending for you?
Oh yeah. I've seen it. I've already seen it. Yeah.
The killer ends up being one of the professors at like the college that they go to, and it could be like, I'm not necessarily saying that Kirby's going to be the killer, but I'm saying you could lead us to believe that maybe she's doing it for some kind of like ulterior motive. I think that could be cool. That would be kind of fun to have her like to tease the idea of like, oh, a survivor of the Ghostface killings from all the way back then is now becoming the killer herself. It's almost like an Amanda Young situation from Saw. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
She has the bear trap on her head and all that, but then she ends up just working for John Kramer. It could be something along those lines, you know, but in the Scream universe. I think that could be fun. I don't know if they should make her the killer, but to tease that would be fun.
Tease it. Big red herring. And you could make it where she looks super sus. Like to the point where we're even questioning it, like ourselves as fans, like as viewers, really thinking she might actually have slipped over and lost control of stuff. Speaking of losing control, you know what else I'd like to see in Scream 6, Jake?
What's that?
And I know that you and I view this differently, and I respect it, and we respect each other's differences. Is I want to see Sam Carpenter. I know it won't. Let me just say this: it's not going to happen. Everyone in the live chat, it's not going to happen. I'm saying it up front. But what I want to see happen is Sam completely give in, let it rip, and let's just absolutely, subvert expectations. How do you do that? Let's turn Sam into Ghostface. Let's kill Sam in the opening. Let's do something with Sam in 6 that's unexpected. And that in 7, it's Tara's left of the sisters to bring up the aftermath. Now, I'm on a wish list now. This is not what I think is going to happen. But I know that, how would you feel if Sam, I know you're not a fan of her going to the dark side. I know that. But what would you say about her dying if she's killed? If she's like just was shocked and they kill her off in 6.
I think that if she dies protecting her sister, okay. I mean, I could see it happening. My thing is they've set up like they made a very big point of making the Sam Carpenter story all about like protecting Tara, like trying to rebuild her family situation, and to either have her turn into the killer or die unexpectedly would kind of ruin all that potential. Like, why set up that story if you're not going to go anywhere with it in the sequel, is how I feel about it. And I think moving into the sequel, a big thing I want to see from Sam Carpenter is, yes, I want to see her be a badass and ultimately kill the Ghostface, whoever it is, in some brutal and vicious way. Listen, that Richie death was maybe my favorite of the entire movie. Holy shit, she was crazy. It was awesome.
So good. I
want to see something along those lines, but expanded. I want to see her character kind of like develop a little more. A big thing I want to see is her relationship with Tara grow. Like we're past the whole idea of her like not being a part of Tara's life. She's going to be overprotective as fuck in this new movie. It's going to be like when you correct something about yourself, you tend to overdo it. That's just typical human philosophy, how we think about things. I would love to see that explored in this new movie with her overprotecting Tara. I mean, and it's just like, oh my god, like stop, like leave me alone. I can live my own life. It's been a year since we got attacked by a ghost face. It's not going to happen again. Well, guess what? It's happening again. But then I would like to see that struggle, because I feel like that'd be really interesting to have Tara in some kind of danger and Sam can't do anything about it. Like, she doesn't know what to do. And then when she finally gets down to it, she does end up like going to kill somebody. She does end up going to like just absolutely murder somebody, something along those lines. But yes, I could see her dying at the end of this film. It would have to, once again, something you'd have to set up correctly, because if they just kill her right at the opening scene, I'm not in. I just don't. I think that would be a lot of wasted potential.
Oh man, it would. And honestly, I don't want that either, because I want her. Look, the way she killed Richie, what we saw there from her, all of that passion, all of that release. I want to see. They've got to let us see that again. Like, I have to see her kill someone again, because that was, to me, her best performance of the film was when she was killing Richie. So I want to see that, more of that.
Yes.
And here's another thing I want to see. I want to see if Sam is going to stay, and I think she will, for the whole movie. I want to see her be different than she was. Oh, bye, Carrie. See ya. Take care. I want to see her be not the same Sam from 5. I want to see growth. I want to see in terms of how her character, because we've had this discussion a lot, Jake, and I'm not a big fan of the performance that we see there from her in most of the movie. I just think it's a little bit stiff. So what I'm hoping is that in 6, we can blame it on the meds, if you will, in 5, and now maybe she's off of them. Maybe this murdering experience has actually helped her in some therapeutic way. And now she's back to being a normal personality, if you will, that she normally would have. Because I'm going to be very disappointed, Jake, if she's the carbon copy of what she was in 5. I'm going to be very disappointed, dude.
No, I agree with you there. I think that if she plays the exact same type of character, I'll be pretty disappointed, because her character has come a long way from where Scream 5 started to where it ended. And now if it's a year later with like things like all that shit happened, that's all in the past, all that trauma is there. You're telling me she wouldn't be portrayed differently? Like, I think it was purposeful how they had Melissa Barrera play that character in that last movie, but now moving forward, you're like, you got to do it a little different, man. Because it would be weird at this point. Like, that was understandable why they did it in the last film. Now you got to show a totally different side of Sam, where it's like her loving, caring side where she's super overprotective, almost like a mom to Tara. That's got to be how she plays it. Otherwise, then I'm gonna start being like, okay, now I'm not too big a fan of her character. But we'll see. We'll see how it happens. Melissa Barrera is a great actress too. That's the thing. I've seen her, like, she was in this musical from Lin-Manuel Miranda that I really liked, actually, and she gives a great performance. She's awesome. Like, listen, I rarely venture outside of horror movies unless it's something like really good. I'm gonna be honest. It's just been my taste for the past 4 or 5 years. And when I do go and watch something like that, I expect it to be pretty good. I only watch things that I'm like, okay, this is probably going to be pretty sweet. So I watched that, really blew my mind. She was fantastic in it. I haven't seen her in much else, I'll say that, but she has a pretty good career under her belt, and I could see her really giving a great performance once again as this character in the next film. Yeah.
And I'm going in optimistic, that I'm hoping that that's what's going to happen. I just have to say, after seeing Scream 5 again, I think I'm at 8. I'm still at 8 right now, and I haven't watched it since my 8th viewing. But I keep hoping that I'm going to feel differently, but I just don't. I just feel the same way every time. So I'm kind of at the point where I think that's how it's going to be. And now we just need to see change. We need to see a different growth, like we saw with every character in the past. That's one thing that Kevin Williamson and Wes were brilliant at, was character arcs and growth. Right? We see it, the ones that stuck through. And I expect to see that similar type of growth in 6. I really do. So
another thing I want to see from Sam and like the rest of the characters that I just felt was so underdeveloped was, like, they set up a lot of things between all the characters, like especially a lot of the ones that died, that didn't really go anywhere. Like, we had this whole scene with Judy and Sam talking about how, like, hey, you shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? Like Sam, you should get out of here. You're just a troublemaker and all that. I would have loved to have seen that expanded or go somewhere. Like, what? Like, oh my God, you had that whole scene in there and it went absolutely nowhere. That they have this history together. You didn't need that scene if it wasn't going to go anywhere. You also have a bunch of throwaway lines about how Wes was super into Tara, and that also went nowhere. So I think that with this next movie, and something they set up in the last film that could go somewhere in the next film, actually, because a character involved in the situation didn't die, was Mindy and Chad were babysat, I guess, by Sam back in the day. Yep. So I would like to see their relationship develop a little bit. They barely had conversations with each other in that last film. So I really hope if Chad dies in the opening, obviously that's out the window. But like her and Mindy could also have that like relationship together. Maybe she's super protective of Mindy now too. I could see that being the case. I don't know. I would like to see that developed a little more. Character development's so important when it comes to caring about the people in your slasher flick, so that when they ultimately die, you're like, no, holy shit, that sucks. You know?
Yes, you want to feel it. Yeah. Oh,
it's your mom's birthday.
Coop. Dude.
Happy birthday, Coop de the mother of Coop de Oof.
Oh dang!
Thank
10
you,
more
thank
minutes.
you, man. Appreciate it.
It's awesome.
Here we go.
Rock on, man. What's that at to us now? It's 10.
Like 11:50.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah.
11:50.
Cool.
Right.
Cool. Yeah. Here we go.
So okay, what else? So, let me think. What else do I not want to see or want to see in Scream 6? I mean, here's the thing, man. I think that one of the twins has to die.
Opening scene?
Question
mark?
I don't know. Maybe. Because, there's that tag, there's that little synopsis running around. I think it's on IMDb or somewhere that says a survivor of previous attacks is killed. And you know what I'm talking about? And
yes,
then, people are coming back, whatever. And I never reported on it, but I did notice it. And I'm like, if that's true, then you got a short list of people. You've got, and I swear if they bring Kirby back and she's
and just kill her in the opening scene, that
I
would
will be
suck.
Furious, dude.
That would totally suck. I would not be a fan of that.
They can't do that. So, and then you got Joel, who I would love to see back. I'd love to see him return. He could be one. But again, your list is not that large. You got Hank Loomis. You got some other people.
I don't want them to bring an old beloved character back just to kill him though. I wouldn't want Joel to die either. I love Joel. He stole the show for me personally in Scream 2. Every moment with him is so funny. He's so good. Dwayne Martin's fantastic. If he comes back in any capacity, I want him to come back and be that character and be silly again.
Mm-hmm.
What's Joel been doing? I'll be honest. Something we were trying to do for our fan film was get Dwayne Martin to be in it.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. We didn't quite raise the funds we needed to do that, but we had a whole scene written for him about what Joel was doing in he's still in Windsor is how we wrote it. Was he would be living there and he was like the top anchor in like the city basically.
Okay.
Like he had moved up the corporate ladder and he had gotten up there and he's finding out about all the Ghostface killings happened. Like I can't talk about it too much because like his scene is kind of a spoiler, but he's reporting on a murder that happens, which once again, if I told you what that was, it would spoil something big about the film. He's reporting on it and basically he's like, I'm getting out of here. Like, screw this. And he leaves. He just books it out of town. Like he's super uncomfortable in front of the camera and all that. He's like, I don't want to do this. This happened 20 some years ago, almost 30 years. I'm out of here. And he gets all angry and leaves. It would be a whole funny scene. Yeah.
That
we had a whole
incredible.
I wish maybe one day I'll be able to do something like that. But yeah.
Did you get very far at all in discussions with his management? Did you guys actually have talks?
We contacted them and that was about it. That was about as far as we got. But like, I'm sure if we would have actually raised like 20 grand or something, he would have probably done it.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, $20,000. Yeah, it's yours for a day's worth of work.
Oh, heck yeah!
Like he would have done it for that. So,
yep.
That's my rant.
Oh man, dude.
And speaking of which, I'm going to just do a quick shameless plug once again.
Go
all the
for
people still watching. We're still at 45 viewers at 11 o'clock at night. Thank you to everyone who's still watching.
Awesome.
If you become a channel member or Patreon supporter at the Jason tier level, you will get an epic update on Red Right Hand this Friday. So that's an exclusive update for my Patreon supporters at that level and above. So there you go. If you want something, a little peek behind the curtain of what's going on the past month and a little spoiler update on it as well, you will get all that on Friday if you're a channel member. So there you go. That's it. That's my shameless plug. That's all. Also subscribe to Craven Something Scary if you have not subscribed to him. So there you go.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Of course. Yeah. Random place to put that, but screw it. Why
Hey
not?
man, it works, man. I've actually got something I'm going to email you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm
Ooh.
going to email you it's
I like
something
presents.
that it's oh gosh, let me get it to you here. Just something for later tonight.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You'll
okay.
see. You'll see.
Interesting. I'm excited.
It's something you're very, very well aware of. So it's not anything,
Okay.
no surprises. But yeah, I'm excited about it. We'll get there.
I'm going to check that out in a second as soon as my email loads. But I do want to talk about Bob Hunt's comment here. This is great. Everyone says Chad is going to die, but I'm calling it now. He's going to be this generation's Dewey. This is a really good point because his arc in that last film was very similar to Dewey's from that original film. I mean, he gets stabbed. He gives the thumbs up at the end. Mm-hmm. Kinda suspicious. Do you think he could be a character that is continuously like maybe taken out in the end of the second act, but then comes back like almost like as a joke, almost like as a meta joke to make fun of the franchise or whatever?
I mean, he could, but the thing is, I've got to see more from Chad before I can go there. We didn't see enough of him in my opinion, now for me, I didn't see enough of him, I should say, for me to feel that way about him yet. But if we see that in 6, he is kind of that, that kind of role that Dewey had. Because remember, Dewey was the thing that made Dewey so special to me was that he was the heart of the films. He was the guy that had the compassion. He was always the one that was looking out for others. He always wanted the best for other people. I don't know if Chad is that guy. I mean, I don't know. He might be. We didn't see much from him. So what do you think, man? I mean, I got to see more, I guess, for me to feel that way. That's all.
I agree, but he does definitely like want the best for everybody, but he doesn't go about it in the best way. Like he wants everyone to download that like Find My Fam app or whatever, but like that inherently is just not a good idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like surface level, I could see maybe thinking that was a good idea, but it doesn't make it like in a horror movie. That's a horrible idea to have something like that on your phone. Koopty Oop, thank you again for another super chat. Holy jumping Jack, we're getting up there. Holy crap. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But yeah, I definitely think all these characters need to be developed a little more before I can say they're at that level of how much I like them. Like they're good characters, but I definitely need to see more from them for sure before I can be like, oh yeah, that character's as good as Dewey. I don't think that about any of the characters at this point. I don't think any of the new people are as good as like Sidney Prescott, Gale Weathers, Dewey Riley. They're just, I haven't spent enough time with them yet. There was just not enough character development in that movie for me to love them as much as I love those characters who I've spent years and years with. I guess is my point.
It's totally, man. Honestly, it's probably going to take 20, 30 more viewings of that movie for me to finally really kind of figure out where I think it ranks. I mean, it's so, because I just don't know what to do with 5. I mean, because I like a lot of stuff about it, and there's a lot of stuff that I'm just don't care for. So I'm at the point where I just got to keep watching it more, I think, for me to finally decide where to rank it, because those Scream 4 films, those first 4 films they're like family, dude. They're knowing the scripts inside and out, knowing every scene that's about to happen, all the behind the scenes stuff, all the things they've studied and understood, and it's just like trying to insert a new family member into the family unit, and you don't just come in and automatically fit. And if you think about it in real life, like it doesn't work that way. You have to find your groove in the family unit where you fit in, how you flow with everyone, and so that's where I'm at with this film. I'm not ready to say what I think about it in totality, other than to say I like it. I do like it, and I like a lot of things in it, and a lot of things I unfortunately don't care for, and I think some of it was due to the immaturity of the writers. I do think that some of the things I had the biggest issues with were writing based. They were some of either the lines or lack thereof that we got from some people. So then, as you mentioned earlier, Guy is so new to this. I mean, this is a big Well, kind of like Radio Silence. This is they've had they did Devil's Due, of course, but then Ready or Not was their really their big thing, right? Their first big film, mainstream film, and so they're all kind of new. I think they're all kind of in that same boat together, which is cool, because Guy was on Ready or Not, right? Because wasn't he was one of the writers for.
Yeah, Guy
Not,
Busick
right?
was like the main writer for that.
Yeah, so it's kind of neat when you see them all sticking together like a group. They're loyal to each other. And so I admire that. I just wish that Kevin Williamson had a stronger hand in the writing room, because I think he could help work some of these things out, Jake.
I agree. I like, for me, something about that last movie that I took issue with was where this is something I'm noticing on like we've all watched it multiple times now. I've seen the film almost 6-7 times, and the last time I watched it, something I noticed was I was like, man, I wish they would have put the Sam is Billy Loomis's daughter.
Oh.
They should have put that reveal towards the third act and teased it the entire movie, because
That is huge, man.
the Billy reveal almost feels like out of place. Like, it's so random, and it's such a shocking thing to put it where they put it is like, what? Because I remember watching it, like, the audience reaction was like, what? But then, you miss a bunch of dialogue. Like, how they present it is like you already knew going into the film that, Billy Loomis was her illegitimate dad. And it's just such a weird place to put it. You should have teased it the entire movie, and then, maybe Sam had a struggle with how she wanted to present that to Tara, her sister. Tara's asking, why did you leave us? I want to know. And Sam just can't bring herself to say that to her. And she keeps going back to Richie and saying, but Richie knows, you know what I mean? The audience doesn't know, but they're talking about it, about how they know they're not saying it directly, but it's revealed to us at the beginning of the third act. And that's where we get a big twist. What? Yes. No way. And you're hearing Skeet Ulrich's voice maybe the entire time in her head, but you don't actually see him until the very end. That was the reveal of the entire film for me. And the problem I took with the third act is that one of the big reveals of that ending was the fact that Amber's house is Stu's house. But we knew that going into it. If you saw any set photo, you knew we were going to Stu's house in the third act. Come on, that was pretty obvious. The trailer makes it unbelievably obvious. So even at that point, you knew. I don't know. To me, I think they should have set up that was one of the biggest twists to me, as well as the Amber. I know, bam, that was awesome too. But those all should have been at the third act. Those were the biggest reveals. Should have placed those a little better. Now, 100%. Craven, you have something pretty awesome coming up I want to talk about.
Yeah, man.
Bam!
Oh, there it is.
Look at
that. Ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday, the 30th, Saturday night, yeah, man, at 9 p.m. Central Time, I've got Lynn McCree coming back to the channel. As you know, Maureen Prescott, as you may know her as better, she'll be joining me this Saturday night for a Scream 3 watch party. That's right, we're going to watch Scream 3 live with all of you in the live chat with Maureen Prescott on the live stream. I can't tell you how ecstatic I am. In fact, I was emailing her earlier, we were chatting. I am so pumped. You have no idea, bro. This is going to be incredible.
That is so cool, man.
Wait, man.
I can't, all the connections you're making, all these crazy live streams. Oh my God. It's always just so exciting. That's so cool. That's so cool,
you, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm really excited because these next 3 Saturdays are nuts, because I've got Lynn McCree on Saturday, and then next Saturday I've got Leanne Kerr, the writer and director of Student Body. She's coming back for a watch party.
Nice.
So at the same time, 9 o'clock. And then the next Saturday, on the 14th, and I chatted with her earlier to confirm everything up, Nancy Ann Ritter, the girl in the bathroom, is coming back to the channel, and we're going to watch Scream 5.
Oh, nice. Okay. Has she seen it, right?
No.
No, she hasn't seen it yet?
She's
Oh,
never
no way.
seen it. It's going to be a first-time watch for her.
Oh, nice. She followed me on Instagram today, and I just thought that was so sweet. I was like, no way.
That's awesome. So I want to talk to you offline, Jake, and see what your schedule looks like.
Ooh, secrets.
Secrets. So these next 3 Saturdays literally are watch parties on my channel with it just worked out that they all could schedule on those days. So we got Scream 3, Student Body, Scream 5. And then who knows what's going to come up after that? You just got to stay tuned. You never know.
Oh, yeah. June 4th, baby.
June 4th is what's coming up next. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Dude, it's going to... I'm just going to tell you. And, Jake, remember that thing you and I were talking about on the phone the other day that I was looking into doing? Checking out? Remember that thing?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, trigger's been pulled.
Oh.
Trigger. It's been pulled.
Oh, man. Okay.
So just letting you know.
I'm very...
It's happening. June 4th.
I'm literally so excited.
I'm so excited, bro. I'm telling you, June 4th. My channel may literally just melt on YouTube. It just melt into the liquid magma because what's going to happen on June the 4th. So you guys got to be there. I'm telling you right now, circle your calendars. Call off your weddings. Postpone your funerals, your bar mitzvahs, everything. Just shut it all down because that's the day you got to be at the channel.
Yes. It's going to be insane.
More to come.
What I know about it is I don't even know that much, and what I know about it was so exciting. I was like jumping up and down hearing it on the phone. So it's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be nuts. Don't want to miss it. It's gonna be some good stuff.
Appreciate it.
Oh man. All right, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I've had a crazy long day, so I'm probably gonna go for another 10 minutes and then call it a night. But we have 10 more minutes for a crazy Q&A, crazy questions. Throw them in the chat, if anything, about Mr. Jake or Mr. Craven, whatever you guys want to ask.
Let's do it.
Just send it our way, and we will answer these questions.
I love it. 10 minutes, man.
10 minutes. Let's go.
Final
10
call.
minutes. Final call.
Last call.
I'm gonna keep dabbing until someone gives me a question too. I'm just gonna keep doing it. It's gonna be real cringy. Everyone's gonna be like, "Dude, stop! What are you doing?" We have some positive things to say about the watch party too. Hell yeah!
That's where it's gonna be so much fun. Yeah, man, absolutely, Anthony. It's gonna be amazing. Yep, I'll be curious to see what she thinks about the Angelina theory. I haven't talked to her about that one yet, so we'll see what she has to say about that and what her thoughts are on it.
You got to ask somebody who was like on set during that about it too. I mean, like she might be able to give you some kind of crazy insight. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a very good chance. Yeah, somebody gets a lot of more in. And I think as we're watching the movie, there's going to be a lot of like things that are going to come up that normally you wouldn't think of in an interview. It's just going to happen because of the movie itself, like this scene or this setup or something. I think she's going to give a lot of fun information during that about Scream 3 as we're watching it. What's up, Bearded? I am here, man. That's right, buddy. I am here. See? Earlier you had fate. You left. I couldn't take it any more of it. I understand. You come back, and it's Nirvana, baby. You come back at the right time. Here we are.
This fucking guy.
This guy.
Talk about how much you love me for 10 minutes. Oh, God.
Wow.
You know his banner is still on the Lethal Collective page.
Dude, look, I changed that banner.
Oh,
bro.
It's changed. Okay, thank God.
It better not have been changed back. Oh, I'm gonna go look.
The last time I checked it, it was still the Fate Decided banner.
My
so
gosh.
it is back to normal. So
yes, I changed
thankfully.
it back. Yeah, I couldn't find the new one that you made, like the new one that we're using. So, but I had the old one, the one. So I'm gonna throw it up there because I can't. This whole Fate Decided on the Lethal Collective channel. You got to go, man. This ain't cutting it. Snooze dead. Yeah, I put a stop to that, man.
Put a stop to none of that BS, right?
None of that, man.
Any questions I'd want to ask Nev, Skeet, Matthew, or Jamie? This is a great question.
Yes.
I will say my buddies recently met, like literally all of them at at a con down in Cincinnati. They didn't invite me. So Sean, Christian, if you guys are watching, I'd give you the middle finger, but I don't want to get demonetized. No, I'm totally kidding.
Wow.
No, but yeah, they went and saw it. Like literally the only reason I know about that is my buddy Sean, who is going to be in Red Right Hand, sends me a message of him and my buddy Christian standing right next to Nev Campbell. I'm just like, what? I would have killed to have. Oh my God, I would have killed to have been there. So they talked to her a little bit about Scream 6, and they're like, yeah, we asked her about Scream 6, and we're gonna be honest, we can't tell you what she said. And I'm like, what? I'm like, you can tell me. No, you can tell. And they're like, no, dude, like we tell you if you were just one of our buddies, but you run a YouTube channel where you like try to talk about all that shit. We can't tell you what she said. And I'm like, I would love to know. I really don't know. They haven't told me. Like me and Christian have hung out, and Sean lives all the way in like Ashland, which is like 2 hours from me. So like we don't hang out that much, but Christian lives real close. And whenever we hang out, I'm always like, so what did Nev Campbell say? Like, you can tell me. Come on, you can tell me, man. It's fine. He's like, dude, I really can't. Like, he's like, I want to, but I can't, dude. I'm just like, oh, man.
Bearded Entertainment. Eric is going to be there, and like you're saying, he's willing to ask any questions. He's gonna ask, and he's gonna tell. He's gonna, instead of don't ask, don't tell. He's gonna ask and tell. It's gonna be the total opposite.
I have so many thoughts. Like, what did she say about Scream 6 that they don't want to tell me? You know what I mean? I'm like, is it that she's in it? Because like it kind of everything I'm hearing, all the buzz is that like she's not going to be in it. But if she said something about it, I don't know. What could that be? You know what I mean? I don't know.
What if she said something like, "Listen, I'm going to tell you, but you got to promise not to tell, not to let it go out past."
That's totally what it was.
I bet that's what it was. She probably said, "I'm going to be there, but I just can't. I'm coming on. I just can't announce it yet, or I'm not coming, but don't." I don't know. I bet you, dude, that's exactly what it was. It made her promise to not tell.
I don't know. You know, it's totally like I literally don't know, and I want to know what it was, but yeah, they won't tell me. So who knows? Wayne Turner is in the chat. What is up, Wayne?
What's up, Wayne?
I will tell you this. We have a big update coming on Friday for my Jason tier patrons and above, either on Patreon or my channel members. I will be giving a little, like kind of some spoilers, nothing that ruins the movie, but some stuff about the film, a little more in-depth things about the characters so that you know a little more about them. You can already start speculating who the killer may or may not be. So there you go. That's something. So yeah, we're doing pre-production. Just a short answer to that. We're doing pre-production right now. Matt is literally calling me, which I'm gonna have to call him back in a couple minutes. But yeah, we are slam packed doing. Like I literally have another hour's worth of work after I get off this live stream, and it's like almost midnight here for me. But yeah, it's gonna be so much. Once we're done with the pre-production stuff, we start filming. It's gonna be a blast. Like it's gonna be so much fun. But a lot of work to do up until that point.
That's awesome, man.
I'm excited. It's gonna be so much fun. So, just finished my Stu costume for the costume contest on Friday.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're actually having he was telling me they're actually having a costume contest at Stu's house on Friday night at the place. They're doing like a Stu's house. You know how they're gonna just set it up, but and Matthew Lillard's gonna be on site, man, which is just nuts. That's incredible, man.
Oh man, that's nutty, man. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, Matt, I know you're trying to call me. I'm still streaming. I'll be done soon. So we're cutting it at some point. So. Oh, and Fate just texted me.
Uh-oh. Well, that's always scary.
He said, let me come on and I'll just hang out. Like I won't even say a word.
Oh my gosh.
Like it kind of defeats the point of you coming on, bud. LMAO, okay, question mark is all I said. You still have the link, Fate, if you're here, so sure. sure, whatever. Yeah.
Well, you can just mute him, and he can just like smile like in the mannequin or something in the window, just kind of like
Oh, if he comes on, I'm just gonna mute him. I'm just gonna completely mute him.
Let
him talk. That'll be hilarious. Craven, is there anything you want to just like throw out there real quick before we end the stream?
Before we end, no, man. Other than just saying that, keep your eyes peeled. A lot of stuff's going on. We got those first reactions tonight to the Halloween scene, the little teaser, and I'm gonna go try to find more about it. I just found out about it before I came on here, so. That's pretty cool, right?
I will say, Craven, they're probably going to release if it's like just a teaser trailer, they're probably going to release it tomorrow. So I wouldn't make a video yet, especially if they're going to just do that. I should probably tell you that off stream, but I would maybe wait. I'm going to wait till like 10 11 o'clock tomorrow before I even make the video, because if they're going to release it, they're going to release it early. And if they don't release it by like 9 a.m. my time, like they won't put it out. They
probably won't be coming out. Yeah. Makes sense. No, that's all I was going to say. Just, keep our eye out. And then it's casting news, man. We should be getting, in the next couple of weeks, we should be getting some news, man.
About Scream 6, you think?
Yeah. I think so, man.
We have to, right? Like, I mean, they start filming in like a month.
a month and a half. Not even that. A month and a week, a few days. Because, I mean, it's going to be May 1st, what, Sunday, all right? Sunday or Monday?
Sunday. Yeah, I believe Sunday, yeah.
So I mean, we're already in May, so I have to think in the next 2 weeks we're going to get the list and finally get the confirmation of what's going to happen here, other than just Gale and these two new. Well, if they're going to be in it,
If they're even confirmed,
if they're going to be in it. I will say this though: I saw that Melissa Barrera knows or has had done work with Julia. Can't remember her last name, Macaro. So there's a connection there, Bert. So I could see that being
legit. Yeah, I can see that. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I see some more. I see somebody from Euphoria, another person from Euphoria, probably being on this show in Scream 6. I mean, I could totally see that being the case. There's a lot of like really like pop-in stars on that show right now. So
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Sydney Sweeney is the one that I am assuming highest of if I had to guess.
Okay.
But I don't know. Who knows? They might also have some like younger actors come in, like some like maybe like up and comers. You know, a lot of the people in this last movie were up and comers, so that'd be cool.
We got to get some. We got to get some victim fodder. We got to get some people. We got to get some people to kill. You know, we got to get some bodies to get in there and kill.
Bodies,
bodies. Yeah, man.
Craven, we started the day off with a stream. We're ending it with a stream.
We did.
It's perfect. It's
perfect.
really just wonderful. I want to thank everybody who came into the chat tonight. I'm sorry. I'm just exhausted. I would go for the other 20 minutes because I think that's hilarious to push myself that far. But I'm exhausted. I'm kind of tired. So I'm gonna call it stream. But thank you to everyone who showed up tonight and hung out. We had almost like 40 consistent viewers the entire time. This is like
that's awesome.
Oddly enough, one of the best live streams I've ever done. So thank you to everybody who showed up. And once again, if you want to become a channel member and all that, we have all that over on that. I already said that enough times, whatever. Subscribe to Craven Something Scary and Fate Decided. Both of them. I thank you guys so much for coming on. I appreciate it. And just hanging out, having a good time, having a good conversation. So
aren't you glad
I appreciate it.
Aren't you glad I talked to you into getting StreamYard a while back finally to do this? Isn't this great?
Yeah,
this is hang out, man. It's just having a hang out. You have to always be solo the whole time, you know?
It's nice not being the only one talking for 3 hours straight. So
it is. I get
it's
it.
Nice. It's nice. It's good stuff. So thank you guys again for coming to the stream. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.
See ya.
Peace.